the ball downfield to Riken. Caught it! He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown Mount Marty! Oh my goodness gracious! The Lancers are on top!
You are listening to Lancer Athletics on KYNT, Yankton's home team, and the flagship station for Mount Marty University Athletics. This broadcast is brought to you in part by
Dakota Beverage, Lewis and Clark Ford, Fairfield Inn & Suites and Holiday Inn Express in Yankton, Dakota Mac, Foreman Tours, Sherco, Pizza Ranch, Parker Hannafin, Gerstner Oil, The Meat Lodge, Marlowe Woodward and Huff, Core Trust Bank, Aztec, Runza, Gerstner Oil, The Meat Lodge, Conkling Distributing, The Move Group, Avera.
Now we go live to the action.
It's Saturday night. You know what that means. College football right here on KYNT. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. We are broadcasting live from Memorial Field in Sioux City, Iowa. The Mount Marty Lancers are going to try to spoil the homecoming football game for the Briar University Chargers, a night game here at Memorial Field. The Lancers 3-2 on the season. The Chargers, coming off the bye week, they are 1-3. We have a little bit of haze in the sky, but no clouds, sunny skies. It was up to 90 degrees earlier today, Tehl. It was a hot day all across the upper part of the Midwest here, but currently 79, a little bit of wind blowing out of the west, but we're expecting the temperatures to drop down into the mid-60s during the majority of this game. Otherwise, I could say a pretty gorgeous night for college football.
Yeah, gorgeous night for sure. This is going to get really, really nice, especially as the game goes on. We could get in the 60s by the time this game is over, just because it's going to go so late into the evening, which is a great switch up from last week, that Morningside game, which was just so hot. I've been told from the head coach of the Lancers, John Micheletti, it actually melted the cleats of a couple of the Lancer players. It was so hot. The turf got so hot, a couple of their cleats melted. We don't get that today, which is very nice.
Well, the cleats, I wouldn't have been surprised if some of the cleats melted last year when the Chargers came up to Yankton to play at Crane Youngworth. That game was on Labor Day weekend. They moved it from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, thank goodness, because it was still 97 degrees last year when these two teams played. That was one of the hottest football games I've ever announced. Yeah. Thank goodness we had air conditioning in our booth.
Oh, we're so lucky. we can close the windows and have air conditioning, and it's great. These players, John Micheletti comes up to our booth after games just in a full sweat, and he comes into our nice little booth and just looks at us so mad because we get air conditioning. It's so great.
But here we're in Memorial Field at the press box. This field used to be a grass field until about 7-8 years ago, because Bishop Heelan High School also uses this field. They put in the field turf, and they made some other improvements here at Memorial Field. So we're expecting a great game here today, and this really, Tehl, is a make-or-break game for both teams. The Chargers are coming off a loss 63-13 at home against Concordia. Things went wrong right away against the Bulldogs, a team that has just bedeviled the Chargers over the years. And for the Mount Marty Lancers coming off a loss at home against Morningside 45-6, the Chargers did get out to a lead in that game early on, but it was all Morningside after that. When you examine the remaining part of the schedule for both teams, this game will determine whether these teams have a successful campaign or not. Briar still has a lot of tough games ahead of them. They still got to play Morningside and Dort and Midland and Northwestern yet. Meanwhile, the Lancers, they've got Morningside and Northwestern in their rearview mirror. Dort is the next game, but after that, potentially winnable games. And for the Lancers, maybe a 5-6, 6-5 campaign, but they've got to win tonight.
Yeah, they do. If you're going for that winning record, if you're going for that 6-7 win season, you got to win tonight. Obviously, Morningside, Northwestern, they took their lumps there. There's still some big games on the horizon. Obviously, we're looking at Dort next week, a home game for Mount Marty. That was a close one 2 years ago before it got out of hand after a kind of a muffed kickoff, if you remember
some
that
mental
night
mistakes.
Game. Some mental mistakes for the Lancers, but they got a real chance against a very good backdoor program. For Briar Cliff, like you said, they've had a little bit of tough stretches early. Both teams road warriors, I'm noticing, starting it off. Top first 3 games of the season on the road for these programs. And
for both teams.
And now, finally, Briar Cliff gets their homecoming. You mentioned it earlier. It's homecoming for Briar Cliff, and the only thing sweeter than winning your homecoming game is spoiling somebody else's. That's what the Lancers are trying to do today.
There is nothing better than ruining a team's homecoming. That is the ultimate road victory, regardless of record, regardless of standings. That's what the Lancers want to do. They are 2-1 all time against Briar Cliff. Last year they won 40-14. Again, that was that night game on Labor Day weekend at Crane Youngworth. We've got a lot more to talk about leading up to the kickoff scheduled at 6:30. We've got the GPAC Saturday football report, a little different what we're going to do. We'll hear from the Commissioner, Corey Westra, and we will give you updates on the games that have already transpired. The rest of the conference has played. This is the only night game. Plus, we're going to have a Lancer player profile. Who are we talking to this week?
Cameron Middleton, senior linebacker out of Montgomery, Texas. Had him in the booth just Thursday as we were talking about not only this matchup, but him, his future plans, and I had a little bit of a surprise for him in that one. I actually got a hold of his dad before the interview and asked him, what should I ask him that is embarrassing? So we got to do that, and it was incredible. The full version of that interview is on our KYNT Facebook page, and we get a little bit about his future on our pregame show today.
We'll also hear from Shane Ledecky, the head coach of the Chargers. That will be in our rival report a little bit later on. And also we'll hear from the head man for Mount Marty, John Micheletti. It's all part of the Dakota Beverage pregame show. Remember, whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, please drink responsibly. We're going to take a timeout right now. We'll come back with the Commissioner, Corey Westra, and the GPAC Saturday football report. That's right after this break. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. You are listening to Mount Marty Football, and this is KYNT.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing. It's the creamiest root beer ever.
1919 root beer available. Is a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
Hey, son, can you hand me that vice grip? As any farmer or rancher knows, having the right tools in the toolbox is important. That goes for your ag lending as well. If you're considering expansion, restructuring debt, or purchasing equipment, call Dakota Mac. We have a toolbox full of lending solutions to help you with your ag financing needs.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
In they come and out they go. That's what's happening at Lewis & Clark Ford with our new 2024 Ford F-150s. I'm Brandon Tykrow. When we get in a newly designed 2024 F-150, they're not sticking around long. Buyers are loving the new engine options, the standard 12-inch display screen, heroic towing capacity, and a packaged version to fit every budget. Stop in and see why the 2024 Ford F-150 is the hottest truck on the market. Lewis & Clark Ford, 4th and Capitol, Yankton.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's 2 best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfast and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, 2 great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
This is the GPAC Football Saturday Report for Saturday, October 5. Brought to you by the Great Plains Athletic Conference and Dakota Mac, a division of First Dakota National Bank, a presenting sponsor of the GPAC Network. On your GPAC Football Saturday Report this week, we begin with the scoreboard from last Saturday around the conference. It was Hastings winning at Waldorf 43-10. Northwestern on the road defeated Doane 31-7. Midland at home defeated Dakota Wesleyan 21-20. Dordt wins at Concordia 33-22. And Morningside a winner in Yankton over Mount Marty by the final score of 45-6. Here's your Hoffman America Sports Football Players of the Week then for games played last Saturday. On offense, Colby Duncan, quarterback from Northwestern, the freshman from Papillion, Nebraska, had over 400 yards of offense, 21 of 24 for 375 and 2 touchdowns. Also had 56 yards on the ground and another score. Isaac Pingle, linebacker from Morningside, is the football defensive player of the week. The senior from Spencer, Iowa, led the Morningside defense. He had 10 tackles, 6 solo tackles, and 4 assist tackles in a game last Saturday as Morningside defeated Mount Marty. He also had a sack for 6 yards and broke up 4 passes. Stephen Leinen, the kicker from Dordt, is the special teams player of the week. The sophomore from Harlan, Iowa, had 2 field goals of over 40 yards, and he also made good on all 3 of his PATs last Saturday at Concordia. And that's a look back at last week around the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Coming up after the break, we'll preview this week in GPAC football. The GPAC Football Saturday Report rolls on, but first this from Dakota Mac.
Whether you're a farmer, a rancher, an investor, or simply a GPAC fan, look to Dakota Mac for your financing needs. Call us to discover why we are the best kept secret in ag financing.
Dakota Mac is a division of First Dakota National Bank and proud presenting sponsor of the new GPAC Network.
And we will continue with the abbreviated version of the GPAC Football Report because we've got some final scores to tell you about as we check the scoreboard. That is brought to you by Gerstner Oil. No matter what you drive, make sure you fuel up at Triple Time Rudy's. They're located on Broadway in Yankton. And Tehl, there are some big games that happened across the conference today in football.
Across the country, there was a national upset today. We'll start it off with that one. At Northwestern, one of the top teams in the country, fell at home today. Concordia beat them 29-17 in GPAC Conference football. That is a national upset.
4 interceptions thrown in that game by the 2 quarterbacks who got considerable playing time for Northwestern. That shakes things up. Tehl, what else happened around the conference?
Yeah, we'll start it off with Dordt, who is the Lancers' opponent. Next week, they beat Doane today in Sioux Center 38-3. Dordt, the home team there, 38-3 final. Dakota Wesleyan defeated Hastings today. That one I expected to be closer, but it was 31-10. Final score at Hastings. Dakota Wesleyan won on the road. Midland also defeated Waldorf today, and that game was closer than I expected it to be. 28-14, Midland beats Waldorf. Those are the other GPAC schools that played today.
Yeah, Morningside has the bye this week, and just looking around, I just got to mention this score. Thank goodness you are not Clark of Iowa. They lost at Grandview today, 89-0. Ooh. Ouch. But anyway, nonetheless, that big upset. So think about this. Dordt is unbeaten in conference play. Morningside is unbeaten in conference play. They have 1 loss on the season. And I'll have to start checking with some of the records here. This may be a Dordt on top of the conference this far into the season. That may be a first ever for that program because normally they've been looking up at some of the other schools like Northwestern and Morningside.
They've been that 3rd team in recent years.
Yeah, so and that makes that upcoming Friday game even more important. That's, again, that Friday matchup coming up in Yankton, and then the Lancers will head into the bye week. Speaking of the bye week, last week Morningside was the opponent for the Lancers. They have the week off. Last week, Briar Cliff had the bye. So we're doing the Sioux City 2-step here with teams going into a bye, and in this case coming off of a bye. Chargers 1-3 on the season, 1-2 in conference play. Mount Marty 3-2 overall, 2-2 in conference play coming into tonight. The only game, and the lights are on here at Memorial Field. The sun going down, 79 degrees, the current temperature here at Memorial Field. And this is the Dakota Beverage pregame show. Remember, whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, please do drink responsibly. Anything else you got to tell here for them before we get into our Lancer player profile?
Yeah, that player profile was fun. When it came to Cameron Middleton, it was good talking with him. He's got a very good support staff, a very good family that are up here. They live down in Texas, but they're up here for the season, going to every game. They've been tailgating at different games as we've pulled into different stadiums. They were tailgating at Waldorf as we got.
Was it at Culver Stockton?
Culver Stockton,
yes.
as we pulled in there, which was crazy. That's a good family and a good guy. So we got that interview coming up.
All right, and we'll take a timeout, and we'll come back with that Lancer player profile after this break. We're getting you ready for Briar Cliff playing host to Mount Marty. This is Lancer football. He's Tehl Tanner. I'm Steve Thum. You are listening to KYNT.
Looking for an easy way to travel? Let Foreman Charters do the driving for your next trip. Upcoming Christmas tours include Branson on November 17th to 22nd, features Christmas shows like the Grand Jubilee Buffet Dinner and Show, Showboat Branson Bell Dinner Cruise, and so much more. On December 6th to 8th, it's a musical Christmas in the Twin Cities area featuring the White Christmas and the Chanhassen Dinner Theater, and shopping at Mall of America. For more on Foreman Charter Tours, go to foremanbus.com.
Did you know Sherco offers more than egg tarps? As an industry leader in construction, waste, and flatbed tarping systems, Sherco offers manual and electric tarp systems for not only grain trailers and grain carts, but also side dumps, end dumps, belly dumps, roll-offs, flatbeds, and more. To learn more, give us a call at 1-800-474-8756 or find us at Sherco.com. Demand the best, demand Sherco.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
All right, back here in the pregame show from Coors Light and Miller Lite. Always remember, drink responsibly. We go to our Lancer player profile now from Lewis and Clark Ford, a proud sponsor of Mount Marty Athletics. Visit them at 4th and Capitol in Yankton or at lewisandclarkford.com. When it comes to our player profile this week, we spoke with Cameron Middleton, a senior outside linebacker for the Lancers, who has just been incredible in recent weeks. We spoke with him about his family, his future, what's next after graduation, and everything in between. You can find the full version of this interview on our KYNT Facebook page as well. There's a little bit extra content there, but let's talk a little bit with Cameron now. Let's talk about you now. You're a senior this year at Mount Marty. How long have you, kind of your college career, walk me through it from start to finish, coming to Mount Marty, playing here, and what's next?
Well, I came here with my buddy Josiah. I had no idea what to expect. The facility was super nice. We didn't really, like, me and my buddy Josiah, we had no idea, like, what we were really getting into, but Coach Mick treated us like family, and I started as soon as I got here and been starting since. That first year was super rough, but we learned a bunch, and we've grown so much as a football team. It's from the first year to now, it's a complete different team. We've grown a bunch.
When you talk about your hometown now, we'll talk about Texas itself. Walk me through where you're from before you came to Mount Marty.
So I'm from Montgomery, Texas. I live out on a lake. It's super laid back in Montgomery. It's kind of like here. Super great people, great atmosphere. They love football. I was actually surprised, because Texas football, my high school, the whole town was there, and it's kind of the same thing here. Yankton loves football, and I was actually really surprised that, we actually get the turnout that we do at these games, and it's super exciting to see all the fans, and it gets all our guys going when we see all those people show up to watch us.
Let's talk about your family, talk about the support you get there. I know they've been able to come up to a couple of games. I've been able to talk with a few of them. I warned you about that before we got on the mic because I have some stories. But when we get into your family, tell me about them.
Oh, man, my family they're such huge supporters. They even bought a camper, and they're living out at Lewis and Clark right now just to watch my last senior year of football. My Aunt Brandy and Lori, they come up to almost every game. And they watch me play, and it's always love seeing them. They're such huge supporters of the Mount Marty football team. And I'll get a couple surprise guests because I'm from Kansas. So, I get a bunch of family coming to these games and supporting us. So it's always awesome to see family.
So let's talk about what's next. After college, you're set to graduate. When is it? This spring or?
Yes, this spring.
This spring. So after graduation, what are some of your plans?
I'm gonna work with my dad. He's done pretty good in his business. He's a mortgage officer. He does home loans, and it's kind of nice actually because I got a bunch of connections now up here that could actually extend my dad's and hopefully my career up here and have all these connections to like these guys wanting to buy homes. Like I could help them out, in the future.
Once again, the full version of that interview will be on our KYNT Facebook page. Just search KYNT on Facebook. You'll find the full version of that interview. My name is Tehl Tanner. This is the pregame show that brought to you by Lewis and Clark Ford. Back in a couple of minutes. This is KYNT.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you started a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan. Your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine because all these benefits begin day one. We are hiring assemblers, machine operators, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day one benefits, apply today at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé, coja a una agente 2398.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Tired of fine print confusion? Vision Insurance Group will help you see your insurance coverage clearly without straining your budget, covering everything from life and home insurance to auto, business, and long-term care. Vision Insurance Group offers coverage for South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska residents. Visit VisionInsuranceGRP.com to get a personalized quote today. Vision Insurance Group, protecting your future so you can live in the vision.
We are back here at Memorial Field in Sioux City. This is the Dakota Beverage pregame show. Briar Cliff playing host to the Mount Marty Lancers, a night game here in Sioux City. It is homecoming for the Chargers here today. Lancers trying to play spoiler. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum as we cruise along here in our pregame show, get a little deeper dive into the teams. Briar Cliff coming in 1-3, 1-2 overall, coming off the bye week, and they, like the Lancers, 3 road games to start off. A close loss on the road in overtime to St. Ambrose. They beat Doane 15-10. A close loss at Hastings 44-35, and then everything went wrong last week. A home game for the Chargers, 63-13 Concordia with the convincing victory. And people know that, again, for full disclosure, in case you're just joining us, I was the Briar Cliff play-by-play man from 2012 to 2019, and I know the struggles that the Chargers had playing against Concordia. That was that one team, even though they've always kind of been in the middle of the pack, the Chargers just struggled against that team. Didn't matter if it was here in Sioux City or down in Seward, Nebraska. It just seems that the Bulldogs always have the Chargers' numbers in football. Last week, things started off not good for the Chargers, and then the Bulldogs just kept on rolling.
Yeah, I know it's definitely a tough loss. It's definitely a tough loss, especially when it was your home opener, which makes this one so much more important because you get the bye week in between that game and this one. And now you come out fresh against a very good Mount Marty program that had a winning record through the month of September. You need to win your homecoming game. If you can win your homecoming game, get back in the win column after a loss like that in a bye week, your season's right back on track. But if you fall in this one at home at homecoming, you're 0-2 at home to start the season, that's not boding well for how the season's going.
Yeah, and examining the remaining schedule for the Chargers, next week they're home to Midland, at Morningside. They go across town on the 19th. Home to Waldorf, you would figure that's a winnable game for Briar, but then at Dakota Wesleyan, at Northwestern, that is a very tough stretch coming up for Briar. Briar needs this game tonight if they want to have any sort of success on their season. And the same thing can be said for the Lancers because they've got a very tough Dordt team coming up after this one. Obviously, you can't look past Briar. They got the bye week, then it's at Concordia, home to Midland, at Hastings, home to Dome. Now, there's potentially some winnable games in there, not easy ones by any stretch of the imagination. But if the Lancers want to get close to that 500 mark, which is kind of the goal here in your fourth year, tonight's a win. If the Lancers lose this game, that's a tough road ahead.
That's a tough road for sure. That'll be a regroup in the bye because next week, obviously, you get Dordt at home in that 7 p.m. game, and Dordt is looking like they might be a playoff team this year.
They might be conference champions if they keep going.
Champions. They're very, very good. So that's going to be a very good night game in Yankton. I'm looking forward to next Friday night. If the Lancers can win tonight and then maybe sneak that win against Dordt, oh, baby, all options are open for the Lancers. At that point, if they're able to pull out the next 2 wins with their only losses being at Northwestern and Morningside, they're going into the bye week with 4 games, winnable games left on the schedule, thinking they might have a chance at an at-large bid. Like, that's where we're at with Mount Marty.
Yeah, they are going to have to clean up some mistakes that they played. And Coach Micheletti talked about that in the post-game interview against Morningside, obviously one of the top teams in the country, and a team you can't make mistakes against because they're as good as anybody in the country when it comes to capitalizing on opponents' mistakes. And for Morningside, they got to be across town. They're on their bye week. They got to be, popping the champagne corks over there with Northwestern's loss because that opens the door for them to maybe get into the to win a conference championship again and maybe get a home game for the playoffs. Even though they got that loss to Benedictine of Kansas in a non-conference game to start the season, things are looking up for Morningside and also for Dordt.
It was a non-conference loss. So when it comes to that conference season, they can still do everything that is available to them. I love this time of year. I love the first couple weeks of October because all options are open for every team. Everybody's got a path to success if things go right for them, and it's just so exciting to see. I cannot wait for the next couple weeks.
And also on top of everything else, there's baseball playoffs going on, and throughout the night, we'll keep you up to date on the Major League Baseball playoffs, including those big college night football games that are happening. Of course, some late afternoon games heading into the home stretch right now. This is the Dakota Beverage pregame show. Remember, whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, please do drink responsibly. We're going to take a time out, and we'll come back, and we'll hear from Shane Ladege. He is the head coach for the BCU Chargers. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. This is Mount Marty Football. The pregame show rolls on after this break right here on KYNT.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more. All at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. For your convenience, you can call and order curbside pickup or order online at meatlodge.com. The Meat Lodge in Yankton, on the way to the lake on Highway 52.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Core Trust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from Core Trust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit coretrustbank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Hungry for the best chicken wings in town? Then head to Checkers Sports Bar and Grill. Whether you're craving mild, hot, or something with the kick, they've got the wings that will keep you coming back for more. They'll have every NFL game on so you won't miss a moment of the action. Grab a cold one, cheer on your favorite team, and enjoy the ultimate game day atmosphere. Wings, football, friends, it's all at Checkers. Open daily for all of your wing cravings.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank. Member FDIC.
FM 1021 and AM 1450. KYNT, Yankton.
All right, back here on the pregame show from Coors Light and Miller Lite. Always remember, drink responsibly. We go now to our opposing coach interview from Fairfield by Marriott. Let's talk with the head coach of the Briarcliff Chargers in Shane Ledecky. Coach, coming into today, you're placing a Lancers team that has a winning record through the month of September. They're in their year 4 of existence. You've obviously played them a couple times. You've seen this Lancer team grow from where they were a couple years ago to where they are kind of now. Can you tell me about this Lancer opponent and what you're going to be seeing on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they've continued to find ways to get better every year. Been really impressed with their line of scrimmage play on both sides of the ball, but honestly, really particularly on the offensive line. I think that group has just gotten better and better every year. A bunch of size and physicality. It poses a big challenge in the run game. You know, Marty's really been able to run the ball effectively. And a quarterback that maybe they're not asking to do as much in the pass game as years past, but has been really dangerous with his legs and found some ways to really escape some pressures and extend some plays, you know, and done a really nice job in some third down situations being able to convert. So pose a big challenge offensively, you know, and then with all the shifts and motions that they do. And then, you know, I think the defensive line has done some really good things. And, you know, me being more of an offensive guy, have posed some real challenges and done a good job pressuring quarterbacks and really handling the run game. So a team that keeps getting better every year and has posed a challenge for us every year too.
Let's talk about your offense in that case. You got a sophomore quarterback in Brock Saya. Tell me about him.
Yeah, Brock is, you know, he's played some really good football this year. He's done a pretty good job of taking care of the football and not creating a bunch of turnovers. We found some ways throughout the season to be explosive in the pass game. You know, we haven't ran the ball as well as I'd like to, but he's done a really good job of handling our passing game and putting us in good situations. He's done a good job extending plays with his legs and getting us out of maybe some tough situations, especially on third downs. And I've been really pleased. He's just got great poise, great command of what we're doing. Nothing really rattles him. You know, even if he makes a mistake, maybe turns the ball over or misses a read and we have an incompletion, like nothing phases him. He's just right to the next play, next series. And he's really been dialed in this year and given us a chance to be competitive.
When you tell me about the rest of your offense, what needs to happen against this very experienced Lancer defense? You know, they start 9 of their 11 players are seniors. The other 2 are juniors on the defensive side. Offensively, what needs to happen for you in order to get the win at home today?
I think we really have to handle, you know, their front 7. You know, the D-line has done some good things. I really think the linebackers, especially the 2 interior linebackers, are really aggressive and fit and runs and play downhill and can pose some real challenges for you. But we have to find a way to get our run game going and stay ahead of the chains there. You know, we've shown that we can throw it. We've been, you know, fairly effective there in the pass game. But we have to, you know, if I'm them, I'm saying, hey, we're going to send it too high shell and dare you to throw the football, right? So we have to find some ways to be effective in the run game. It takes some pressure off Brock and our receivers and tight ends. And it's going to all come down to handling that defensive front and those 2 inside backers. If we can do those things, I think we're going to give ourselves a chance.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. As always, good luck on Saturday.
All right, thank you.
That brought to you today by Fairfield by Marriott and Holiday Inn Express. Get great rates and flexible reservation changes by calling the Fairfield by Marriott or Holiday Inn Express in Yankton direct. The pregame show rolls on in a couple of minutes on KYNT.
Before the Lancers play, after the game, or maybe even while watching it here. Enjoy authentic flavor at RB Grill House and Sports Bar.
We're American-themed and feature handcrafted dishes and daily specials with an amazing selection of beer and spirits. Enjoy burgers, steaks, wings, and ribs, sandwiches, salads, seafood, and plenty of HD TVs.
Authentic flavor, family-driven, and a memorable atmosphere. Join us at RB Grill House and Sports Bar, next to River Rocks Event Center on Broadway in Yankton. Go Lancers!
There's a new option for families in the Yankton area to memorialize their loved ones. This is Paul Wintz with the Winston Ray Funeral Home and Garden Memory Cemetery. This new and unique columbarium consists of both indoor glass front niches, where families can incorporate pictures and other special mementos, as well as outdoor granite niches personalized with a beautiful bronze nameplate. For more information, please give us a call or visit our columbarium page at wintzrayfuneralhome.com.
Regular vehicle service keeps your vehicle running efficiently, can prevent costly repairs, and ensures your safety on the road. For all your car maintenance needs, rely on Northtown Service in Yankton smoothly. Serving the Yankton area, they handle routine maintenance and unexpected repairs with top-notch customer service. Schedule your appointment to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than 8th and Broadway.
And welcome back to the Dakota Beverage pregame show, live from Memorial Field here in Sioux City, Iowa. Mount Marty getting set to take on the homestanding Chargers of Briar University. It is homecoming for the Chargers today. This, the Dakota Beverage pregame show. Remember, whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, please drink responsibly. Before we get to the starting lineups, we got some scores to pass along to you here on the Gerstner Oil scoreboard, as it has been a busy day for Mount Marty.
Yeah, it really has. It has been a very busy day, mostly at Briar Cliff. It's Briar Cliff's homecoming, and they seem to have scheduled, let's just play the Lancers. Let's just do like a rivalry week here. So that's basically what has happened. We'll start it off with soccer today. Briar Cliff did get the sweep in women's and men's soccer over Mount Marty. 9-0 Briar Cliff defeated Mount Marty women's soccer.
Ouch.
Men's soccer fell 5-0 was the score. Briar Cliff got the wins there. For the cross-country team, they had a very good start. Had a great 1-2 with Logan Ferrari and Joseph Cross. Both finished top 5 in that race. Concordia ended up having a very, very good day as well in that one. But at Briar Cliff, cross country ended up with a 1-2. Logan Ferrari and Joseph Cross both finishing in the top 5. And also for Mount Marty volleyball, they played Briar Cliff today, and they got the win in 3-0 fashion. They got the sweep over the Chargers a little earlier today, and this is some history for Mount Marty because they are now 4-4 in conference play. These upcoming stats and history brought to you by James Simbrick of the Yankton Press and Dakotan, by the way. But they're now 4-4 in conference play, which is only the 4th time MMU has won that many in GPAC play, and it's the first time they've done it since 2014. It's been 10 years since they've had that many wins, and this is now 12 wins on the season, also the most since 2014. So this Lancer volleyball team is putting together some really good numbers so far.
And for those of you not familiar, the Great Plains Athletic Conference is the top volleyball conference in NAIA in the country. Top to bottom, there are no nights off in the GPAC when it comes to volleyball because they place a ton of teams in the national tournament. And generally it's 1 or 2 teams, maybe sometimes 3 teams, that are legitimate national championship contenders.
Yeah, they are. And number 1 Northwestern is going to be in town next week. Mount Marty is playing host to them. That's going to be a team that could go win something. Jamestown obviously was in the GPAC the last couple of years. They were competing for it every year. This GPAC team, I think it was 2, maybe 3 years ago, where the conference tournament hosts 8 teams.
Yeah.
The 9th team was receiving votes and didn't make the conference tournament.
That's
what the
insane.
GPAC is in
That's
volleyball.
just
That's what it
insane.
is. Yeah. That's something that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so get out and watch these GPAC teams play volleyball because you're looking at star players and great teams every night, no matter who's playing.
Yeah.
Hey, we mentioned earlier baseball playoffs are going on. While we got a moment, final score, Guardians over the Tigers today, 7-0. The Mets in the top of the ninth are leading at Philadelphia 6-1, just underway. Second inning done. Royals ahead of the Yankees 1-0 later on tonight. Padres at the Dodgers. So that's the baseball playoffs, as this is one of my favorite times of the year with college football and Major League Baseball heading into October. Let's shift gears and get back to tonight's matchup here and the examination of the starting lineups. They're being brought to you by Foreman Charters. Let Foreman Charters do the driving for your next trip. See upcoming tours at foremanbus.com with the starting lineup for tonight's teams. I'll turn it over to Tehl Tanner.
We'll start it off with the big boys up front for Mount Marty University. The big left tackle, senior out of Van Vleck, Texas, number 79, Patrick Perkins. The left guard, senior out of Fort Worth, Texas, Anil Pastrana. The center, Cooper Sezdek, senior out of Kingsbury, Texas. Now, once again, we're not going to have
Lionel Winningham.
Lionel Winningham today. He went out last week. Jonas Kelp came in, so he's going to slide in, take that right guard position. He's the senior out of Hamburg, Germany. And the right tackle, Xavier Gable, was at guard. He'll slide out to tackle. The senior out of Montgomery, Texas, will be the right tackle. For the pass catchers, Rex Reichen, the grad senior out of Yankton, will start at tight end. Slot receiver is Nick Heath today, the senior out of Ojibwa, Wisconsin. Trevor Fitzgerald, the senior out of Yankton, starts at wide receiver. And Rodney Brodnax, the sophomore out of Cleveland, Tennessee, wide receiver. For the running back core, Malachi Hartz will start today, the junior out of Merced, California. You're also going to see a lot of the freshmen out of Gayville, Kyle Hirsch. And then Rugby Reichen, your starting quarterback. He's a freshman out of Yankton, South Dakota.
The Lancers on offense averaging 163 yards per game, 127 through the air. That's 290 yards of offense. They're averaging 26 points per game. Let's meet the Lancer defense.
Started off up front, the left end, it's Dalen Norman, the senior out of Gainesville, Florida. The nose tackle, senior out of Lamar's, Iowa, Tyrell Klein. The right end, senior out of Council Bluffs, Iowa, John Carlstead. To the linebacker core, on the outside on the left side, it's Cameron Middleton, senior out of Montgomery, Texas. We spoke with him a little earlier in the pregame. On the other outside linebacker, David Wilson is on the two deep to start. We know we got a little shaken up last week. Told he's kind of a game time decision. We'll keep you an update, but we're going to see a lot of Damian Baldwin if he's unable to play, the sophomore out of Harrisburg. But David Wilson, if he's good to go, the junior out of Chicago will be on that right side. For the linebacker core, it's Josh Pickthorn, the senior out of Brandon, South Dakota, and another middle linebacker, it's Jacob Lambeth, senior out of Monterey, California. The secondary, the senior out of San Diego, California, cornerback Amir Conley. Other side, the junior out of Sioux Falls, Roosevelt, Asmaran Muhammad. Strong safety, senior out of Hawaii, Gabe Baptista. And the free safety out of Texas, senior James Brinsley.
The Lancers giving up 111.5 yards per game on the ground, 208 through the air. That's 320 yards total. They're giving up 24 points per game. They've registered 4 sacks as a team, 3 interceptions, and also defensively expect in that linebacker core Devon Williams, the junior out of Chicago, and Brock Lubers, the sophomore out of Harrisburg High School. If Wilson can't go tonight, those guys will also see some considerable playing time because they have gotten some playing time recently. Let's meet the Chargers of Briar Cliff.
Same story. You know, there's definitely some injuries that are kind of hurting the Chargers here, especially on the offensive line. Eli Burns is going to be their starting left guard on the two deep today, the junior out of Baytown, Texas. But I know he was shaken up last week. Derek Sharing, his backup, got a little playing time. We'll see if we see that redshirt freshman this week. Gordon Sepola, the sophomore out of Parkston, South Dakota, will start at left tackle. The center is a senior out of Bakersfield, California, Maximus Haywarden. The right guard is Isaiah Williams, the senior out of Peoria, Illinois, and the right tackle is Perry King, junior out of Brookings, South Dakota. The tight end starting is Stephen Whiting, the junior out of Lodi, California. And for the wide receiver core, Kaimani Flaherty, the sophomore out of Sunrise, Florida, starting, and Jaden Avery Stowers, a wide receiver, senior out of Dacula, Georgia, and another wide receiver, Corey Kerrigan, a junior out of Arvada, Colorado. For their starting running back, it's Matthew Mason out of Logan, Utah. He's a sophomore. And the starting quarterback of the Briar Cliff Chargers out of Johnston, Colorado, junior Brock Saya.
The Chargers just averaging 68.5 yards a game on the ground, 247 through the air. That's almost 316 yards per game. They're averaging 21 points per game, but we saw this last year, Tehl, where early on the Chargers' running game struggled. It made them one-dimensional, and that has hurt them. Let's meet the Charger defense.
Started off up front again. They're running that 4-3-4. So on the left end, we've got Chase Brown, a sophomore out of Hugh Springs, Texas. On the other end, the redshirt freshman out of Moore, Oklahoma, Philip Benjamin. Inside, defensive tackle Carlos Lopez, senior out of Placerville, California, and a senior out of Waterloo, Iowa in Lackey Martin. For the linebackers on the outside, it's Brett Tinker, senior out of Pierce, Nebraska. The other end is Braden Pomier-Williams, a senior out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's got 5 tackles for loss in the season. And the middle linebacker is Johnny Bowser, the junior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. The secondary for Briar Cliff. On the left side, it's Tulsa Janish, senior out of Parkston, South Dakota. The other corner is Ben Greer, redshirt freshman out of Des Moines, Iowa. The strong safeties, Tim McCarthy, junior out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. And the sophomore is Cale Forsyth, a sophomore out of Winterset, Iowa.
The Chargers defensively, they are giving up 36 points per game, 138.5 yards per game on the ground, 272 through the air. That's 410.5 yards per game is what the Charger defense has been giving up. The man to watch, that defensive tackle, Carlos Lopez, 3 sacks, 6 tackles for loss. He is really the heart and soul of that Briar Cliff defense. And our starting lineups again today being brought to you by Foreman Charters. We're less than 15 minutes away from the kickoff of tonight's homecoming game for Briar Cliff. Lancers trying to spoil the party here at Memorial Field. A gorgeous night for football. Again, this is what, about the 4th game, Tehl? I look up in the sky. I don't see a cloud anywhere in the sky. A little bit of haze.
I'm wondering if they're just way up there because it is hazy here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does look like a nice clear sky. It was clear skies last night for high school football. It's just been beautiful weather for football this year.
Knock on wood that it continues. 76 degrees currently here in Sioux City.
I've done it. Oh, no.
The sportscaster's jinx, just he's a 95% free throw shooter. Clank. How many times have we done that throughout our careers?
Oh,
hey,
so many.
I know, more than I'd like to count. This is the Dakota Beverage pregame show. Remember, whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, please do drink responsibly. We're going to take a time out right now, and we'll come back, and we'll hear from the head coach of the Lancers, John Micheletti. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. This is Mount Marty Football. You are listening to KYNT.
A couple days ago, a teacher came into the UPS store to print some worksheets for her classroom. As we were printing, she asked if we could help her design and print a custom banner for her school's upcoming event. Yes, we can. Hi, this is Doug at the UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion, where for over 8 years we've been serving educators, businesses, and community members with all kinds of printing solutions. Stop by today and let us assist with your next project, and be sure to ask about our shipping services or current print specials.
Want to buy the best bike from the best team? Then shop Ace Bike and Fitness for your Trek bike needs. This is Ken, and every Trek bike we sell is built to give you a quality ride and is backed with a history of performance and durability. We stock the best selection of Trek recreation bikes, fitness bikes, mountain bikes for adults and kids. Shop in store, and one of our bike enthusiasts will match you with a perfect Trek bike. Visit Ace Bike and Fitness in Yankton today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
All right, back in the pregame show from Coors Light and Miller Lite. We go to our coach interview from Sherco now. When you need to be sure, make it Sherco. Coach John Micheletti now in the booth with me talking Briar Cliff football. I got off the phone with Coach Shane Ledecky about an hour and a half ago getting ready for this one. He was very complimentary of the growth of this program over the last couple of years. And the one thing he was really complimentary of this year is running the football. Can you tell me about your run game and your offensive line play this year, Coach?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there with starting with the offensive line. Like it starts with those big guys up front, and the seniority they have, the camaraderie they have together allows for those guys to be able to work together in unison to move and create gaps, for Malachi and Hirsch and Sloan and the rest of the guys to be able to run through. And it does help as well to have a quarterback that can pull it at times and be able to run himself as well, so it keeps defenses honest. And I think Coach Lewis, Coach Zook, and Coach Wiebelhaus, along with some of the other offensive coaches, have done a great job game planning, doing different formations, motions, and things like that to, put the defense in a bind where it allows us to have a more successful run game.
When it comes to your defense now, this is an old group, and they're really starting to show it. Over the last couple of years, you haven't had a whole lot of seniors. You've had a few of them here and there, but now you're in year 4 of your program, and you've got 9 out of 11 starting seniors on your defense. What is it about this group that it makes them special?
Yeah, once again, the more you can trust each other and commit to one another, the more success they're going to have. And obviously having a senior group helps with that. And those guys trust the process with it all. Whether it's, the defensive line being able to, fill their gaps and be able to push the offensive line back, the linebackers being able to communicate and be able to scrape over with poles and things like that, or the back end, communicating the coverage adjustments and how we're going to adjust the motions. The more that those guys can be able to play as one allows everybody to play faster and more together. So, and it does help with depth, so you can get fresh legs in there, and being able to trust those guys with depth has been a big part of the season, the biggest change I've probably been able to notice this year.
Let's go to Briar Cliff themselves. What do you notice about their identity that you're prepping for?
Yeah, they got some weapons there on offense. They're very similar in schematics as what we saw last week with Morningside, with some of the RPOs that you'll be able to see downfield. They have some quick guys, and then they have a really tall tight end that likes to stretch the field and be able to run as well. So we got to make sure that we shouldn't lose him with how big he is, but got to make sure that he doesn't stretch the field too much there. Their GPAC backs, they're going to fight for those extra yards, and tough to keep those guys for minimal gains. So defensively, we'll have our work cut out for us. Our offense going against their defense, they got a very good defensive lineman in that Chris Lopez. He's very active in TFL, sacks, things like that, ranked very high in the GPAC last time I checked. So we got to make sure that that senior group of offensive linemen keep him under control and allow our running game to get going and rugby enough time to be able to facilitate the pass game.
Cameron Middleton, we spoke with him a little earlier in the pregame show. Can you tell me about that guy, your senior?
Yeah, unbelievable man. And I could say he's a man because I've seen him grow up over these last 4 years, and great family. His family right now is here, and they're here all football season because how much they have put into Cameron and want to be there for him through his senior year. Cameron's a goofy guy that brings a lighthearted humor every day, but then when it's time to work, he's one of those guys that is very hard to outwork. So exactly what I look for in guys. There is times to be able to have fun and laugh about life, and that's one of those things that we continuously have in our relationship. So got a lot of love for that guy, and I'm excited to see what's next for him in life as well.
You might finally get fall weather for this game as well. It's starting to cool off just a little bit for the Catholic Cup.
Yep. Can't complain too much. I'd rather play in some of these games that are a little bit warmer than hold off that snow a little bit longer. But looking back at last week, we had a couple guys that their cleats melted, so I had to go get new cleats with all the glue and stuff like that. So that's how I'll take anything that's a little bit better than that. So
yeah, no kidding. Well, good luck against Briar Cliff, Coach. Hope nobody's cleats melt today.
Appreciate it.
That brought to you by Sherco, and you need to be sure, make it Sherco. Back in a couple of minutes on a KYNT. It's Kickoff, Mount Marty and Briar.
You understand your oral health and answer any questions you have about your dental treatments.
With an office located in the heart of Yankton at 1818 Broadway, we're centrally located for all patients in the area.
Whether you need fillings, crowns, or bridges, just a teeth cleaning, or even Botox.
Contact Elwood Family Dental Care today.
Brand names like Ashley Furniture, Lazy Boy, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Tempur-Pedic fill our sales floor and our warehouses. At Slumberland, we're passionate about what we sell. furniture, mattresses, and home decor. We take pride in selling high-quality products at a great price. You deserve to have the home you want, and at Slumberland, we want to help you achieve it. Live in the home of your dreams. See us at Slumberland in Yankton, 2401 Broadway.
They say tomorrow is always coming, but never arrives. It's always just beyond today. Not true when it comes to internet. Tomorrow's technology is already here. We'll need solutions that are even faster, smarter, and more secure. So let's go. Let's go to a place where Midco Internet connects you to all the possibilities of tomorrow.
Come. Best wishes, Mount Marty, from your friends at Aztec.
We're back here for the final beverage. Remember, whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, and the Lancers, you'll get the football first, as Briarcliff has deferred to half number 2.
Looks like that's exactly what they wanted. Briarcliff's captains are fired up as they're coming back. They know they need this game. Capitalize against a Lancer programs that's kind of had you the last couple of years. Lancers have won the last 2 years in a row.
Yep, 40-14 was the score last year as the Lancers won convincingly at home, a very hot night game, 67 degrees, or 97 degrees, I should say, when that game kicked off at 7 o'clock at night. Lancers will be wearing all white with the gold helmets, the navy blue numbers. Briarcliff wearing the black uniforms with the gold. To you by Dakota Mac. Now, whether you're a farmer or rancher, an investor, or simply a Lancer fan, look to Dakota Mac for your ag financing needs. Visit dakotamac.com to learn more. Sun going down about 75 degrees, a little bit of wind gusting up to about 20 miles an hour, not a cloud in a hazy sky. The lights on but not in full effect here at Memorial Field in Sioux City. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. We are getting set to kick this one off. Jack Finder has the ball teed up. He approaches, puts the right foot to it, and we are underway. And a fair catch being called for by the return man for Briarcliff. That was one of the upbacks for Briarcliff, and that was Ezra Heiner, backup tight end. So that's where the Lancers set up shop, 1st and 10. And they will have it at the 25-yard line. And the offense led by the junior, Brock Saya. He's 73 of 135 on the year, 54%, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And he will operate left to right on your radio dial. Matthew Mason has stepped into that number 1 running back position, sophomore out of Logan, Utah, averaging just 3.4 yards per carry. They will line up in the pistol formation. Umpire taking his time. We'll introduce the referee crew here in just a moment. And Mason shifts over from left to right, standing next to his quarterback now in the shotgun set. He handles up the middle, dodges one man, but runs into John Carlstead, lunges forward, and his knees down at the 29, gain of 4. Mark Harris, the referee. Mark Beltman, is the umpire. Dennis Reinke, the head linesman. David Harris, the line judge. Shannon Putman, the back judge, your officiating crew tonight.
Briarcliff has struggled to run the football. I like going to the run on their first play of the game. They need to get that established. They're averaging under 70 yards a game on the ground.
Man in motion from left to right. Hand off. No, it's going to play action and a toss over onto the left side. Caught near the first down sticks. And that's one of the backup wide receivers for the Lancers who catches the pass, and it is enough for a first down.
Now, Marty's defense has been pretty good in recent weeks. They're going to have to be good today against a Briarcliff team that can throw the ball at will. They're averaging 247 passing yards a game. Their quarterback in Saya is second in terms of yards per game in the conference.
3 receivers over on the right-hand side. Straight drop back out of the shotgun. Pressure comes, and the pass complete. That's Mason out of the backfield. He'll catch it over on the far sideline, short gain on the play. Or check that wasn't Mason, that was Corey Carrigan. Yeah, short gain of about a yard on the play. Saya just went to his safety valve, man.
Looks like Damian Baldwin is out there starting at linebacker, so I don't think we're going to see David Wilson today. David Wilson's been great for the Lancers, 25 tackles, 4 tackles for losses, an outside linebacker, not here.
And Mason runs to the left side, has a hole as he turns the corner and gets a first down across the 45-yard line. Let's see where they put him down. Saya.
But it is 3rd down is what that brought up.
Yeah.
Since he didn't cross the sticks, it's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, the chains started to move, and then they stopped and had to reset. So
well, here's an opportunity for Mount Marty, still on your own side of the field. You have a chance to get off the field now.
Yep, 12:30 and counting here in the first quarter. No score, first possession of the game for Briar Cliff. Koink in the backfield. He'll split out to the right side. Quick pass, left side. High arcing pass is somehow brought in, and that's Corrigan who gets a 3-yard gain, and it's a first down for the Chargers.
That was a dangerous throw, a high arcing pass on that little quick in, and there was a bunch of Lancers in the area. That was one of those that could have been knocked down or picked, but he was able to bring it in, able to get the catch, and that's a first down for Briar Cliff. Their drive continues.
Yep, they'll bring Mason back into the game. He is wearing number 2. He was assigned 25, but they changed up the number on him. First down and 10. Briar Cliff from the 47-yard line, and they'll get across midfield. Here's Mason on a strong run. Got about 9 yards. Close to the first down sticks, but a little bit short as the Chargers are now in Lancer territory at the 44-yard line.
First down has been the friend of the Chargers on this drive. They're getting a bunch of yardage on first down. It's now 2nd and 1 here in Lancer territory. This is what you want to see on your opening drive.
Lancers, 2nd down and 1. They'll split 3 men out to the right. Now they'll put Corrigan in motion over to the left-hand side. Tight end stands on the left-hand side. He'll split out, and it's a run with Mason to the right side. Cuts to the middle, gets to the 40 to the 39. Move the chains. First down. This broadcast of Mount Marty Football brought to you in part by Core Trust, helping you achieve your personal and business goals at Core Trust Bank. You can raise your expectations with Core Trust. They're a member of the FDIC. 10:40 and counting. Quarter number 1 just underway. Lancers on defense, Chargers on the move. They're at the 39-yard line of Mount Marty, 1st and 10. Mason shifts over, stands to the right of his quarterback in the shotgun set. He'll take the handoff up the middle, angles to the left, and he'll be stopped after about a 4-yard gain right to the 35.
Yeah, 3 or 4 there. You got to love the comfort of 2nd and 6. That's what running the football effectively can get you. So 2nd down for Briar Cliff. They're at the 35-yard line of Mount Marty. This is a long, sustained drive, only 2nd down. This is exactly what Briar Cliff wanted out of the gate. Now you just got to finish the drive. For the Lancers, you still got a chance to bend but not break.
Chase Thomas comes in and splits out as a wide receiver. Now they'll shift him over to an H-back. Corrigan comes in motions from left to right. Shotgun set. Mount Marty shifting things up. Play action. Pressure comes. Throw. Caught. Tackled right away for a loss by Jacob Lambeth, and that was Chase Thomas, who just checked into the game. He was the safety valve receiver, and he got swallowed up right away. He's a sophomore out of Windsor, Colorado.
Jacob Lambeth's 6th tackle for loss on the season. That one was his 32nd overall tackle, tied for the team high in tackles on the year and on number 1 in tackles for loss. He's also up there in sacks. He has just been everywhere for the Lancers this season.
Yeah, it was a 3-yard loss on that pass reception. 3rd down and 9 coming up. Coming up on the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter, no score. Kyle St. Pierre goes in motion, a receiver from right to left. Straight drop back, 3-man rush. Saya has time, dances in the pocket, rolls to his right, throws on the move to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for, that's Flaherty, the sophomore wide receiver. He was open on the right sideline, but he couldn't handle that one. And holding the call on a penalty against Briar Cliff.
Yeah, I saw that one come in. They had John Carlstead wrapped up, had a hold of his jersey. This is going to be holding on Briar Cliff, as you mentioned. But Lancers just got off the field on third down. I wouldn't be surprised if they just decline it and move on.
Looks like the punting unit might be coming out for Briar Cliff. Holding is the call.
Number 57.
That's Maximus Haywarden, the center. He gets tagged for that one. Marty Football brought to you in part by Aztec. Build your career with the group that's built to connect rock to road. Well, actually, they're going to accept the penalty.
So
they got fourth down listed. They're going to shift that over to third down. It is third down, 19 yards to go. Ball back at the 48-yard line of the Lancers. Receivers either side. Saya out of the gun. They're going to play it safe and run, and Mason stopped for a 2-yard loss. Lambeth in there.
Lambeth again, his second tackle for loss of the opening drive, Jacob Lambeth. That's 7 tackles for loss on the season. He is having a great year.
Well, the Chargers had something good going, but then an incomplete, a loss on a safety valve play, and then a holding call, and all of a sudden they are going in the wrong direction. They're at their own 49-yard line, 4th and 22, and they will punt it away. And Gaetani stands near his own 10-yard line. Christian Mendoza to punt it away, and penalty flags fly. Might be a delay of game. Nope, false start against Briar Cliff. Mount Marty Football tonight brought to you by Pizza Ranch. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Pizza Ranch. They're on Broadway. Call them at 665-1222. Mendoza stands at his own 29-yard line. Punt it away. He's averaging 38 yards per punt, 55 the longest on his 27 previous punts this season. Gaetani stands again near his own 10-yard line. He has returned to punt for a touchdown earlier. Pressure coming, partially blocked. Bounces at the 50, and it's going to be covered up by Briar Cliff at midfield. And that is going to be Lancer Football on the block. I think it was Middleton who got it?
That was Cameron Middleton who got in the backfield. It came screaming off that left edge, was able to get in there, got it cleanly, and the Lancers get it at midfield. That is a beautiful special teams play by the senior linebacker.
And great field position at midfield for Mount Marty. Lancer Football brought to you in part by Slowey Management. Call the Fairfield by Marriott or Holiday Inn Express in Yankton. Call them direct for great rates and for flexible reservation changes. Out of the shotgun, Broadnax in motion. Fake it to him. Reichen on the keeper. Dodges one man, can't dodge the second. No gain on the play as Broadnax. They faked the jet sweep to him, but I tell you what, that was covered. Had Rodney taken that handoff, he was probably going to be tackled for a loss.
Yeah. No, Lancers have ran that play a lot this season. That screen to the outside with a very fast man in Rodney Broadnax, and opposing teams have kind of realized we should probably cover that when he goes in motion. So nothing doing there.
7:30 and counting. First quarter, no score. First possession now for the Lancers. Couple men in motion, a little confusion, but they got 12 on the play clock, and now the backfield is empty. Screen pass, Hirsch. He is swallowed up right away and thrown for about a 3-yard loss on the quick screen pass, and it didn't fool anybody.
Yeah, Lancers coming out of the gate, keeping it simple here with that, once again, fake jet sweep, and the quarterback runs it on first down. Second down, they just run the screen pass to the running back on the outside. Briar Cliff all over the first 2 plays. Third and long for Mount Marty.
Mount Marty Football brought to you in part by Gerstner Oil. No matter what you drive, make sure you fuel up at Triple Time Rudy's. They're on Broadway in Yankton. 6:45 and counting. First quarter, no score. Chargers face third and long, 3rd and 13. They're back at their own 47-yard line. Chargers showing blitz. Here they come. Reichen stands tall over the middle. A pass interference, you would got to think, as there is a flag down as Reichen was clearly bumped before the ball arrived at about the Charger 38-yard line.
Yeah, extremely easy call. Going to walk off 15 yardage, and that gives you a first down for Mount Marty. For Briar Cliff, you just were able to get off the field on third down if you just keep that one clean. The ball wasn't right where it needed to be. I'm not sure if Riken would have got there. I mean, he's an All-American. He does superhuman things. But either way, Briar Cliff, you just got to not commit penalties on third down.
And Riken trying that little kind of long slant pattern. And the defense gets flagged. And that is Jaden Bird Alexander, the senior defensive back out of Groveland, Florida. He has the tough assignment of guarding Rex Riken downfield. Ball put down at the 38-yard line. Fresh set of downs for Mount Marty. They'll stack out 2 receivers on the left-hand side. Now comes in motion Fitzgerald. He'll line up in the backfield, circle around. Malachi Hart's his first carry, and boy, he got grabbed by the face mask at the 30-yard line and pulled down there after an 8-yard gain. I don't see a flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they had the face mask or the collar of his jersey, but they certainly had him up right around the neck. He didn't get up motioning that he got hit, though. He didn't motion for it.
2nd and 2. Hartz again busts through the line. He's at the 35, the 30, down to the 20-yard line. Move the chains, first down. That was a gain of 10 on that last run, and the Lancers, going into hurry-up mode.
Now the penalty gave him some life, and here we go.
Rollout, Riken to the right side, throws, man open, caught. About an 8-yard gain down near the 12-yard line. And that was Fitzgerald on the catch. That's his 16th of the year. He leads the team in that department. Now they'll say a gain of about 7. 2nd and 3 coming up quickly. The handoff goes to Hartz. Tries the right side. Can't turn the corner. Gain of 1. Forced out of bounds. 5:20 and counting, and now a big third down for both teams here early on. 5:15 and counting, no score, but the Lancers are in the red zone.
And you're in kind of decision territory here. It's 3rd and 2. If you keep it close, you could go for it on 4th, but you're also at about the 12-yard line. You could settle here as well. Decisions if they don't convert on 3rd here.
Hartz stands to the left, now to the right of his quarterback, a step or 2 behind him in the shotgun. Here comes Fitzgerald in motion. Handoff, Hartz up the middle, has the first down. He's near the 10, now to the 9-yard line. The referee says his knee's down at the 10, but that should be enough. Yes, move the chains. Should be 1st and goal from that position.
Yeah, pretty much right at the 10-yard line. Didn't give him the spot that we thought he wanted, but either way, it's right at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
Mount Marty football brought to you in part by the Meat Lodge. Want top quality meat at great prices? Head to the Meat Lodge in Yankton. They're on the way to the lake, right there on Highway 52. Now the Lancers take their time and deploy. 2 receivers, now 3 out to the left. Now here comes Hirsch in motion. He'll step into the backfield in the pistol formation. Hirsch, the handoff, slips by 1 man, but not the second. Dives forward, gets to the 8, 2-yard gain. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Lancers on the move. This is their first drive. It started near midfield. They were bailed out on a big pass interference on a 3rd down play.
And after that, they've been just going straight to Malachi Hartz. He's been their workhorse all season long. They didn't go to him in those first couple plays. They start going to him now, and it's been working. I'd say they give it back to him here pretty quick, but it's Kyle Hirsch in the backfield with Riken. That usually means they're throwing the ball here.
Fitzgerald in motion from left to right, circles around behind his quarterback. It's Riken on the keeper to the left, makes a man miss. He'll get down near the backup linebacker. 3rd and goal from the 5. Hirsch is going to stay in at running back. The team looks to the right-hand side. 2:55. Only 15 minutes into this game. We're almost done with the first quarter, but here's a big 3rd and goal from the 5. Fitzgerald in motion from left to right. Rollout, right side, Fitzgerald open, the toss to him. He caught it. Touchdown in the right corner of the end zone. He was open.
Yeah, they're getting the timing figured out on these passing routes. We've seen that one be missed between the two of them earlier in the season. These two are getting things figured out. They've played together a long time. Those two split snaps at quarterback in high school for Yankton. That's how far back they go. Now playing at the college level, catching touchdowns. Quarterback wide receiver connection is on fire. Lancers lead in the first.
Yep, with 2:36 left to go here. They'll try the point after kick from Jack Finder, 12 of 14 on the season. He missed his only attempt last week against Morningside. This one has the kickoff in 30 seconds on KYNT.
Taylor is living the Runza dream.
The Fry Life is the high life.
He's stacking up rewards on the Runza mobile app.
Points on points on points on points.
That's a lot of free food from Runza.
Yep, I'm headed there for lunch today.
Download the Runza mobile app to start getting rewards. Because Runza makes it all better.
Runza on Broadway by Menards in Yankton.
Good start here for the Mount Marty Lancers. 2:36 left to go.
It was a very good drive for the Lancers starting off this game. It was 10 plays, 50 yards, 5 minutes and 23 seconds it took up. And the final touchdown was a 5-yard touchdown pass from Rugby Riken to Trevor Fitzgerald.
Finder will kick it away. It'll go to a deep man near the 5-yard line. That is Corrigan. Penalty flag down, so is Corrigan near the 25-yard line. We'll wait to see what that penalty flag is. As Mark Harris, our referee, will signal momentarily on a return. Most times it's against the return team. Did they pick the flag up?
I'm not sure there was one. I'm not going to lie here. I think I saw what you were looking at. There's some kids right behind the field playing catch, and I think you saw a football get thrown in the air.
A little gold and blue football thrown in the air.
It was a little gold and blue football thrown in the air. I saw it too, and I was sitting there, and I thought it was a flag at first as well. That's funny.
So no penalty on the play from the 25-yard line. Chargers have it 1st and 10. Lancers up 7-0. A run up the middle. Mason skips to the outside, turns the corner, gets away from trouble, turned nothing into something. I thought he was tackled at the line, but he bounced it to the outside. He's run out of bounds at the 33, turned it into a gain of 8 yards. How'd he do that? 2nd down and 2 coming up. Mount Marty football brought to you in part by Runza. Pick the perfect burger at Runza. Bacon cheeseburger, Swiss mushroom, or spicy jack. Made fresh and topped the way you like it. It's Runza now in Yankton. 2nd and 2 coming up for Briar Cliff. 4-man front for the Lancers from the left hash mark. They'll run it to the left side. Mason's got to change directions. He's swallowed up, and it'll be about a yard loss on the play for Matthew Mason, as the pursuit was there for Mount Marty.
Yeah, there were 4 or 5 guys that ended up getting a hit on him in that tackle for loss. 3rd down that should have been an easy one for Briar Cliff, and 3rd and 1 or so, now backed up a ways.
Yep. Oh, that's almost a 2-yard loss because they put the ball back at the 31. Yeah, 3rd and 4 coming up.
That's big.
Well, movement on the line, but no flags. Now the Chargers look over to their sideline. That's the near sideline here at Memorial Field. Chargers bench across the way from us here. Out of the shotgun, straight drop back. Saya has time, throws the deep ball down the middle of the field. He's got a man. Corrigan catches it at the 35 of the Lancers. Down the right sideline, shoved out of bounds near the 20. That was a great pass thrown by Brock Saya as Corrigan had a couple of steps on the DB.
If Briar Cliff wins this football game, that's how they're going to do it. They're averaging under 30 or under 70 yards a game running the football. They've been throwing it effectively. They've got to beat the Lancers on chunk plays. Big throws down the sidelines. That was one right there.
They'll go back to the run on 1st down. Mason tries the right side, and he's hit for a loss of about a yard or so on the play. That's his forward progress. And with 10 seconds left to go in the quarter, the Chargers in no hurry to run a play. That's it for quarter number 1 here on homecoming night. As we've got an update. What do we got?
Oh, man, we've got an update in Major College Football as we hit the end of the first quarter. We might as well just keep this one here because we got to talk about this. Vanderbilt just beat Alabama.
Wow. That is, I mean, we've had some upsets in Major College Football, but that is the upset of the season so far.
Oh, man.
Vanderbilt final 40-35 over Alabama. The SEC has just been a roller coaster this year. Vanderbilt 3-2, Alabama 4-1. My goodness, that is a big upset today. That was in Nashville as Bama goes down. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. We'll make it just 30 seconds and come back with quarter number 2. This is Lancer Football on KYNT.
When the leaves start to fall and the air turns crisp, there's only one beer to reach for, Shiner Oktoberfest. Brewed in the heart of Texas, the Marzen-style beer is packed with caramel malts and a hint of hops for that smooth, toasty flavor perfect for cooler nights. Whether enjoying the changing colors or gathering around the fire with friends, Shiner Oktoberfest is your perfect companion for fall weather. So raise a glass and enjoy the season with Shiner Oktoberfest.
We're back for quarter number 2. Mount Marty and Briar Cliff. The Lancers on top 7-0, but the Chargers on the move just outside of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 11. They flip ends of the field. Chargers moving right to left on your radio dial. Shotgun set. Corrigan in motion from right to left. Double tight end set here. Play action. Saya pressured. Hit as he throws over the middle. Man open, incomplete at the goal line. That was Heiner, the backup tight end, and he was open, but the quarterback was hit right when he threw it, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, very nearly a touchdown for Briar Cliff there, ready to tie up this ball game. Being hit as he throws was Saya. Otherwise, that was 6. The Lancer pass rush saved the touchdown there. Guy was open in the end zone.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Ball at the 22-yard line of the Lancers. Chargers deploy with 2 receivers out to the left and 1 to the right. Whiting, the tight end in motion, shifts over from left to right. Shotgun set. Straight drop back. Pressure comes.
And Cameron Middleton, we talked to him in the pregame for a reason. He has been having a great season so far. He has 3.5 tackles for loss now with that one. Over 18 tackles. He's a senior. He has sacks. Like, this dude is everywhere.
He and Pickthorn and Lambeth, that's a great trio.
Oh, it is. And then you got David Wilson, the junior, on the other side, who is injured today, but you've got Damian Baldwin stepping in out of Harrisburg. They've got a great linebacker core this season.
Well, they're going to go for it on 4th down and about 20. They've got to get down to, 4th and 19.
Yeah, you're out of field goal range.
Yep, a straight drop back. Saya, time, throws towards the end zone. Incomplete, out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Whiting was the intended receiver, but that pass sailed way out of bounds.
Yeah, well out of bounds. They just it was kind of, you're in no man's land there. I know it's 4th and 19. Why are you going for it? But you couldn't kick the field goal there. You're backed up too far. The other thing you could try and do is punt the ball from the 30-yard line, but you rarely
probably
see
don't
a team
want to do
that.
that.
You rarely see a team do that. Just put the ball up, see what happens. If you don't get it, it's not a massive loss. The Lancers still get it at the 30-yard line in their own territory. Not exactly prime field position. So that's kind of what leads to those decisions.
1st down and 10 for Mount Marty. They're at the 30-yard line. They operate from left to right on the radio dial. Pistol formation. Handoff. Hartz up the middle. Spins. Tackle. Got a 4-yard gain out to the 34. Mount Marty football today brought to you in part by Dakota Mac. At Dakota Mac, we can help you do the heavy lifting when it comes to ag financing. Whether you're a farmer, investor, or a beginning farmer, we work hard to find the lending solutions to fit your needs. Learn more at dakotamac.com. 2nd down and 6. We're in the 2nd quarter, 13:30 and counting until halftime. Mount Marty up 7-0, and they've got the ball. Here comes Hirsch in motion as a wide receiver from left to right. Pass over the middle. Ryken tapped away from him, incomplete at the midfield stripe. That was one of the linebackers keeping up with him. And Palmier Williams, the great linebacker for the Chargers. He's been there several years now. Very, very good player. 3rd down coming up. About 6 yards to go. Out of the shotgun, handoff, Hart's up the middle. He'll get about 2 yards, maybe 3, and that's all. So the Lancers play it safe there on 3rd down. And the punting unit will come out for both squads. Lancer football today brought to you in part by Lewis and Clark Ford. They're a proud sponsor of Mount Marty Athletics. Visit them at 4th and Capitol in Yankton or go online, lewisandclarkford.com. Finder to punt it away. He's averaging 35 yards per boot. Corrigan back at his own 25-yard line to receive. 12:40 and counting here in quarter number 2. Snap on target. Pressure coming. Got it away. Finder hit the ground. Fair catch call for at the 33. Finder asking for a penalty. None forthcoming.
He got touched there. He hit the ground, and he got up kind of incredulous that he didn't get the flag, but nothing thrown. Briarcliff takes over an offense right around their own 35.
A couple other scores on the Gerstner Oil scoreboard from major college football. Ohio State over Iowa today, 35-7. Georgia beats Auburn, 31-13. Indiana over Northwestern, 41-24. Penn State beat UCLA, 27-11. Texas A&M, a big upset over number 9 Missouri, 41-10. SMU knocks off number 22 Louisville, 34-27. More scores coming up at our halftime report as the Chargers take over. They're down by 7. They're on their own 33-yard line. Play action, throw, pass, caught near the 39-yard line. And out there was Flaherty, the wide receiver, the sophomore out of Sunrise, Florida. Good gain on a quick pass.
Quick pass and a quick-moving ball game. There's just over 12 minutes left in the second quarter. We're not even a half hour in.
Well, maybe the homecoming dance is starting early and the players want to get there. Who knows? But, yeah, this is a quick-moving game so far. And we're just at 7 o'clock here, and we're 12 minutes away from halftime on the game clock. Chase Thomas into the game at running back. Play action to him. Pass is going to be tapped away from Whiting. Almost intercepted. Pickthorn jumped the route.
Pickthorn had a chance of just taking that one to the house. Saw the screenplay, saw it to the outside. He jumped it, was able to get outstretched and get a hand on it, just couldn't quite bring it in. But, man, what a play from the linebacker.
That was a good read. And you know what? If he's a step quicker, that's a pick 6.
Yeah.
But he did a good job knocking that ball down to the ground nonetheless. That's a good defensive play by Pickthorn. Stops the clock with 11:49 left. 3rd down and 4 for the Chargers. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here comes the blitz. Quick throw. Tapped away. Intercepted. Intercepted. Down the left sideline. It's going to be Gaetani for a touchdown.
Pick 6. Gaetani again. He has been having a great year, kind of as a spark plug guy for the Mount Marty Lancers. Wasn't starting at corner. He comes in today and is able to get the pick 6. He had the return touchdown on the punt 2 weeks ago. He has been in massive plays over the last couple weeks in Morningside. Gaetani just giving the Lancers some life, and now it's a two-possession game.
The second pick 6 of the season for Mount Marty's defense. Finder to try to point after kick. It's on the way. It has the distance. It is good. 11:41 left to go until halftime. 14-0. Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff. We'll be back after this break and station identification. You're listening to Mount Marty Football on KYNT.
I didn't know you did that. They hear that a lot at Hanson Briggs Advertising. At Hanson Briggs, their slogan is for all your printing and promotional needs. And I emphasize all because they do apparel, pins, signs, calendars, trophies, logo development, banners, flyers, drinkware, and so much more. Got a project? I bet they can do it. Hanson Briggs Advertising, 1213 West 9th Street in Yankton, or online at hansonbriggsadvertising.com.
FM 1021 and AM 1450 KYNT Yankton.
41 yards on the pass interception returned for a touchdown. They have Joshua Pickthorn listed in the scorebook as the interceptor, but I thought it was Gaetani.
It was. That was Gaetani. Pickthorn was the guy who had the chance at the play before, but Gaetani's the one.
Yeah, because that was number 6 and not number 1. It was
Absolutely.
on the far side of the field here from our broadcast location, so I wonder if the official scorer couldn't read the number clearly here as the light's not quite in full effect as the ball is kicked off, and it is going to be returned by Briar Cliff. Corrigan runs to his left across the 25 to the 26-yard line. That's where he is brought down. So if you're following the official scorebook, they're saying Pickthorn, but that was Gaetani who has the interception return for the touchdown. Because I clearly saw number 6 out there.
Yeah, no, that was Gaetani. That was Josiah Gaetani. Ended up having a very, very good play on that football. That was very good for him.
And for Saya, that was his 5th interception of the year. So Briar Cliff back on offense. They're down by 2 scores, and they're going to go to the run, and Chase Thomas trying the right side, and he is going to be held to a minimal gain on the play as the Lancer defense strung out that sweep to the right side. They will give him no gain on that play. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Mount Marty football today brought to you in part by Parker Hannafin. It's day 1 of your new career. Parker of Yankton has immediate openings for all production positions, offering newly increased wages, 13 paid holidays, and some of the most competitive benefits in the area, all beginning on day 1. Learn more at parker.com. 2nd down and 10. Under 11 minutes left to go here in quarter number 2. Mount Marty up 14-0. Passing formation. Saya drops back, pump fake, steps up, throws on the move, and it is going to be incomplete down the right sideline at about the 40-yard line, and Corrigan, the intended receiver.
Good coverage by Arthur Oliver for Mount Marty University, the junior athlete out of Louisiana. Normally, that he's filling in that free safety role. Normally, when James Brinsley's out of the game, we see the senior out of Sturgis and Caden Phillips. But today, filling that role, Arthur Oliver back there.
All right, 3rd down and 10 coming up. Ball at the 27-yard line of the Chargers. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Straight drop back out of the gun. Over the middle pass is going to be caught, and that's a 1st down. And that is Jaden Avery Stowers with the catch, the senior out of Georgia. His first catch on the night moves the ball to the 38-yard line, gain of about 11. 1st down, Chargers. 10-20 and counting, quarter number 2. Lancers up 14-0. Chargers trying to answer and get that goose egg off the scoreboard. Tight formation with 2 receivers to the left. They'll run it. Thomas up the middle, has a nice hole, dives across the 40, tripped up near the 44. Boy, he exploded through the hole quickly.
Yeah, he did. Tyrell Klein was able to kind of get him on the arm tackle, but 6 yards gained for the running back.
And for Briar Cliff, you don't have to be in a hurry. I mean, it's not desperate times, desperate measures yet.
Still early.
But the Chargers do need to get some points out of this drive nonetheless.
Don't want to go down 3 possessions. You don't want to give it back to the Lancer offense.
2nd down and 6. 3 receivers now on the right-hand side. Running play left. Thomas has a nice call across midfield. Into the open, brought down near the 40-yard line. And watch out for Chase Thomas. He has come to play today. He is a sophomore out of Colorado, 5'9", 175 pounds.
Playing very well so far. Biggest run of the day here for Briar Cliff. Their previous long was 9 yards.
From the 39-yard line, they'll try the left side again. Thomas cuts back against the grain, has a nice little hole, and gains 4 yards. Briar Cliff maybe they found something here in this guy. He has not a whole lot of carries coming into this game. It has mainly been Matthew Mason, but he's been bottled up so far.
Well, when you're averaging under 70 yards a game running the football, that's time to start looking for different ways of going, and looks like this guy might be the guy.
Last year, Briar Cliff started off slow, but they came on strong down the stretch and was playing very good football.
Absolutely.
Even in their losses, they were losing to very good teams by small margins. 2nd down and 6. Shotgun set. Play action. Saya steps up, throws over the middle. It's going to be caught. Corrigan at the 15-yard line, and he rolls forward to the 10, First down, Corrigan having a good game for Briar Cliff.
Yeah, very well-designed play there. Headfield wide open. Well-designed play.
And somebody out on we got some motorcycles there revving their engines. Oh, somebody's doing a wheelie down Hamilton Boulevard here to our right of our broadcast location. So we hear the motorcycles roaring. Hey, Sturgis has already happened, guys. First down and 10. Ball at the 11-yard line of the Lancers. Shotgun set. Thomas, handoff up the middle, runs into 3 white jerseys. Gain of about 1, maybe 2. They're going to give him 2 on the forward progress. We have 7:20 and counting here in quarter number 2. Mount Marty 14, Briar Cliff nothing, along with Tehl Tanner. I'm Steve Thum. Quick moving first half here at Memorial Field. It's homecoming night for the Chargers, but the home team is down by a couple of scores, but they're in the red zone. Second down, they're going to say 9. Ball at the 10-yard line. Pistol formation. Lancers showing blitz. Play action over the middle. It's going to be caught. Touchdown. That's Avery Stowers. That is his second touchdown catch of the season. That was a big drive for Briar Cliff.
That was huge. You know, you make it a one-possession game here with under 7 to play before halftime. 14-6, your score at the moment. Extra point incoming.
That's Jacob Schroeder. Or no, there looks like they're going to go for 2. They will out of the Wildcat formation. Thrown and intercepted in the end zone. This can be returned for 2 points. Trying to see who picked it off in the end zone for Briar Cliff. Is that guy Tani again?
That's him. And he's
a
going to
lateral to Asmaran Muhammad down the right sideline at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. That should be 2 points for Mount Marty. Yes. That's technically a safety on a interception on a 2-point conversion. You don't see that every day. With 6:36 left to go, 16-6 in favor of Mount Marty over Briar Cliff. Trying to throw that pass. That was Gavin Dobson, the backup quarterback, but it was picked off and returned for a safety. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. Come back with the kickoff. 16-6. Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff in the second quarter. This is KYNT.
At H&R Block of Yankton, we want you to focus on your business while we handle your books. From payroll and bookkeeping to expert tax preparation and advice, we're ready to put our expertise to work for your small business. For the year-round services and the one-on-one attention you deserve, partner with H&R Block of Yankton. Stop by our office at 21st and Broadway or call us at 605-665-3366.
Well, the Chargers score a touchdown, but on the point after, it's Mount Marty scoring on an intercepted pass, returned all the way for 2 points. And here's the kickoff. It's going to be handled by Trey Hansen. He's got a hole at the 35, the 40, and tackled at the 41. Boy, he almost broke that one into the clear. A great return by Trey Hansen. And the Lancers have a 10-point lead, 16-6. 6:28 left to go here in the second quarter. And my goodness, it was Gaetani with the interception, but he lateraled it about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, lateraled it to Asmaran Muhammad, who takes it to the house. Lancers ended up making an incredible play there, and it wasn't just bad for the 2-point conversion, it's bad for the game itself. We'll tell you why in game situation after this first down play.
Out of the shotgun set, Hurst, they fake the handoff. Reichen on the keeper, trying to turn the corner as he runs to the right. He will get across the 45 to the 46. Go ahead and finish your thought.
So it's 16-6 now. It is now a 10-point game. Briar Cliff just made it a one-possession game. You kick the field goal there, it's a 7-point ball game. Kick the PAT, it's a 7-point ball game. Instead, going for 2 there and having it returned, it's now a 10-point game. It's a touchdown and a field goal is the difference here. You got to wonder.
You roll the dice, and sometimes you come up bust. Second down and about 6. Hirsch on the draw play, tackled in the backfield for a loss. He'll lose, boy, how many yards on that one? Well, all the way back to the original line of scrimmage is where he's knee down, so a loss of 6 on the play.
Whoa.
3rd down and 10 coming up.
You got to wonder why he didn't get forward progress there. I mean, again, he was still fighting, but forward progress would have made it a loss of 2, not 6.
Yeah, I've seen other plays like that where you get forward progress. I mean, it was a good defensive play by Briar Cliff. They hit the back in the backfield.
And I think
I wonder if John Micheletti's talking about that. He's got one of the officials right by him there, but, well, it's going to be 3rd down and 10 nonetheless. 2 receivers to either side. Hirsch clears out, empty backfield, straight drop back, roll out. To the left, Riken on the run, looking to throw. He'll tuck and run. He will dive for the sticks, but I think he's going to be short. Where they're going to say his foot out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Just ran out of real estate over there.
Yeah, Mount Marty getting a bit of bad luck. He had a good run. It was about a 6, maybe 7-yard run. That would have been a first down if you got that forward progress yardage on the play prior, but ended up being a massive loss. No forward progress, taken down at the original line of scrimmage, so only a 7-yard gain, and it's 3rd and 3.
All right.
4th and 3. I haven't moved the marker yet.
Yep. 4th down, punting unit out there. Finder stands at his own 33-yard line. Corrigan back at his own 15. Pressure coming, but he gets the punt away off the side of the foot. It's going to bounce near the 35 and just die right there. So not a far punt, but Finder was kind of lucky to get that one away. And the Chargers will take over with 4:14 left to go in the second quarter. It's 16-6, Mount Marty on top. Mount Marty football today brought to you in part by Conklin Distributing. Wellness should feel good and taste good. That's why Alani Nu offers a range of delicious energy drinks to support your goals while bringing bright, bold flavors to your daily routine with just 10 calories and no sugar or gluten. Alani Nu energy drinks are a healthy way to fuel your fun. Thank you to Conklin Distributing for their support of Lancer football. 1st and 10. Mount Marty on defense. Lancers dig in as the Chargers run it up the middle. And a good run there through the hole. That is Mason back into the game. He'll dive across the 40-yard line to the 42, gaining his 6 or so yards on the play. 2nd down coming up. Under 4 minutes to go until halftime. Here in upset their plans. 2nd down and 4. Receivers either side. 4-man front for Mount Marty. Handoff. Mason quickly up the middle. He'll run into a couple of linebackers. Gain of 2.
I ran right behind the left guard, Derek Sharing, on that one. The redshirt freshman able to start this game with Eli Burns out of this one. It'll bring up short yardage situation for the hometown Chargers. 3rd down.
Yeah, Devon Williams also in on that tackle for Mount Marty. A big 3rd and 2 coming up for the Lancer defense. Chargers trying to move the chains. Ball at the 44-yard line of BCU. They'll deploy with 2 receivers to the right, double tight end over on the left hand, and we will have a timeout on the field. First one spent by Briar Cliff comes at 2:48 left to go until halftime. 16-6. Lancers on top of Briar Cliff. This timeout is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Yankton Pizza Ranch. Call them at 665-1222. They're located on Broadway. Back in 30 seconds on KYNT.
If it's time to review the look of the signage at your business, let Mayor Signs help. They offer all types of signs, including lit, non-lit, digital, and much more. They also do logo creation and vehicle wraps. Their technicians arrive on site fully equipped to get the installation done with quality workmanship. With the latest tools and technology, Mayor Signs provides high-quality installation.
We're at Memorial Field in Sioux City. Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff, 16-6, second quarter, 2:48 left. Chargers just called timeout. 3rd down and 2 for Briar Cliff from their own 44-yard line. Big moment of the game here. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Play action. Saya rolls out to his right. He's going to have to tuck and run. He's got the first down as he slides near the midfield stripe as the quarterback will move the chains with his legs.
Yeah, that was a great move by the quarterback, Saya. He got John Carlstead to over pursue to the inside, broke to the outside. Nobody was there to contain the quarterback. He's able to scamper for first down yardage.
At the Lancer 49-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10. Remember, we do have the 2-minute timeout coming. So Lancers will have that to work, or the Chargers rather will have that to work with, plus 2 timeouts left in their back pocket. Handoff, it's going to be Mason running into a brick wall, 1-yard gain. Carlstead makes the stop, and that is all. 2-minute timeout on the field. Second quarter, 16-6. The Lancers on top of the Chargers, back in 60 seconds right here on KYNT.
Move. Negotiating the best price to navigating the paperwork, you can expect help every step of the way. So call me, Mason Schramm, with the Move Group. Make the move with Mason.
Move with Mason.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
2 minutes to go until halftime. Mount Marty, 16, Briarcliff, 6. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. We're at Memorial Field in Sioux City. 2nd down and 9 coming up for Briarcliff. They have receivers either side. They'll put a man in motion, Thomas, from right to left. It's going to be a handoff. Right side. Here comes Thomas on the end around, and he is tackled right at the midfield stripe. A loss of 1. A little trickery there. They faked the handoff to Mason and went with the receiver. That was Thomas, and he got nothing.
Now went deep in the bag on that one. Clock moves now out of the 2-minute timeout. Lancers do still have all 3 of their timeouts, so they have a chance to get the ball back and drive down the field if they get off the field here on 3rd and 11.
And if I remember right, it'll be Briarcliff getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter. 3 receivers to the left side for the Chargers. Out of the shotgun, pressure coming. Saya stands strong, throws over the middle. It is going to be tipped and incomplete. Almost intercepted at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Lancers nearly got their 3rd today. It was Gabe Baptista, the strong safety out of Hawaii, who had that one in his hands, but the tip drill just kind of changed the trajectory of that ball just enough to where he wasn't able to bring it in.
And 4th down coming up, and Christian Mendoza trots on the field to punt it away. And we've got a new return man into the game.
Justin Ogle, wide receiver, who's returned a couple, mostly against Waldorf.
Yep, and it's back inside the 10. He drops it, picks it up, runs to his right, gets out of trouble initially, but he ain't going to go very far. He's down near the 10-yard line.
And tried to catch that one inside of the 5. Normally you let those go, trying for the touchback. Just dropped that one, tried to make something out of nothing. Gets to about the 10. Lancers are going to be backed up here. They've got a long way to go with 59 seconds, but they do have 3 timeouts before halftime. With the field position, we'll see if they try it.
Yeah, Mount Marty football today brought to you by Dakota Beverage. Whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, please do drink responsibly. Let's see if they'll play it safe here or maybe take a shot downfield on 1st down. Chargers have 2 timeouts left. A lot of motion as Riken sets them down with 2 receivers to the right-hand side. They'll run it up the middle. Hirsch bounces to the outside, has a hole, changes direction in the middle of the field, and he'll get 6 yards. And a timeout called. See who calls that one. So Marty is going to spend that timeout with 50 seconds left to go And well, they'll up the clock to 52 seconds. 16-6. It is the Lancers on top of Briar Cliff. We'll keep it here during the break as we got the halftime show coming up here in just a little bit. We'll recap the stats, get you the rundown on major college football. The big upset, number 1 Alabama beaten by Vanderbilt?
Oh, man, Vanderbilt's a football school now.
The Commodores.
They're a football school. Oh, man, that's a historic one. That one is crazy. Number 1 goes down to an unranked team. And that's why I've been a big fan of the expansion of the college football playoffs. A lot of people are sitting there saying...
It's long overdue.
Yeah, a lot of people are sitting here saying that, you know what, it's just going to be blowouts every week, and there will be some, but there's also a chance of some massive upsets. You can't say they don't exist because we just saw number 1 go down to an unranked team.
And Northwestern in the GPAC goes down today at the hands of Concordia in Orange City. Second down, play action. Riken on the move. He'll tuck and run, cuts up the middle of the field, runs into a linebacker around the 21, but he'll get to the 23-yard line, and that's enough to move the chains. That's a first down. Clock stops, or did it?
Clock did not stop.
The clock didn't stop. It's
and now
supposed
the officials are stopping it.
Yeah.
Did not stop properly for the first down.
Yep, clock didn't stop. They're going to move it back to 43 seconds.
We'll start on my ready.
And the Lancers have it, first down and 10, and now the clock will start up as the ball's put down. Riken out of the shotgun, play action, loads up, throws the home run ball down the middle of the field, tapped away from Hansen at the 40-yard line of Briar Cliff. Incomplete. Good defense down there by Briar Cliff.
Hansen wanted a flag, didn't quite get it. Back there deep was Jaden Bird Alexander out of Groveland, Florida.
Yeah, he made a good defensive play there. He was step for step with Hansen on that fly pattern.
Well, Hansen did have a step there. Ball was just a little underthrown. I was wondering if we were going to see that flag thrown on defensive pass interference on the underthrown deep ball, you know, where the defensive back just gets there a second early. That's kind of what the play looked like, but no flag.
All right, second down and 10. Clock stopped at 33 seconds. Straight drop back. Riken over the middle of the field. Caught Riken. He's at midfield to the 40, the 30, the 20, angling towards the sideline. Stays on his feet, jumps a man, and he's down inside the 10-yard line. Rex Riken with a huge catch. And let's see if the Lancers call timeout. They've got 2 to spend. They're running downfield. Chains have to catch up. Let's see if they go quickly here. First down, goal to go from the 8-yard line. Riken rolls out to his right, throws to the end zone, incomplete, overthrown, intended for Fitzgerald in the right corner of the end zone. 16 seconds left. Chargers inside the 10-yard line at the 8 on that huge play to Rex Riken for 70 yards officially.
And you could not have asked for a better thrown ball from the quarterback, Rugby Riken. That was perfect in the breadbasket over the top of the field. Found his brother deep. Missed him earlier on one that could have been a long one. Found him there. Perfect throw.
Important for the Lancers to get some points out of this possession. They're well within field goal range. Hart's deep in the pistol. He bobbles it, takes it, runs to his left, gets inside the 5. He's down near the 1-yard line, and a quick timeout called by Mount Marty with 9 seconds left. They've got 1 timeout left. This timeout brought to you by Pizza Ranch. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Yankton Pizza Ranch. They're located on Broadway. Call them at 665-1222. We'll keep it here during this break, as we've only got 9 seconds left to go. It'll be third down and goal. Ball, well, they're going to say Hart's knee went down at the 4-yard line. So 3rd and 4 coming up. You got 9 seconds. That's essentially 2 plays, but you got a timeout, which means you can use the running game. You know, you can still run the football.
Yeah, you can absolutely still run the football. Lancers still have time to run 2 plays and maybe even sneak in a field goal in there in the last second. But you got to be quick if you do that. The timeout's got to be called instantly. You got to, if you're throwing the ball, you throw it into the end zone. Either it's a touchdown or an incompletion to stop the clock. And you can't have those long, high-arcing throws out of bounds to stop the clock either, because that'll run you out of time. Whatever you run here is got to be fast.
I would suspect maybe a quick rollout to the right side. Look for Rex Riken and you throw it to where either he's going to catch it or it's going out of bounds.
Exactly.
And they're on the left hash mark, so they've got room to operate if they go to the right. 2 receivers to the left. Now Fitzgerald in motion. Chargers show blitz. Rollout to the right. Riken looking. Now circles back. He's running out of time. Throws it to the end zone, and it's out of bounds. And 1 second was left on the clock. No, it was caught. Was it caught? I thought it was out of bounds. Was it caught by Rex Riken? I thought he was 3 yards out of bounds. But it's caught.
That's one of the biggest toe drags I've ever seen in the far end zone. Riken was able somehow to get his feet down. There's no time left on the clock, by the way. Lancers had just surrendered everything if he wasn't able to drag that one. Briar Cliff's going to call a timeout and try and probably get the challenge
Video
in here.
replay,
The video replay challenge is new this year. We're probably going to have a couple-minute break here as they look at this one. But if that stands, that is one of the craziest plays I have seen. Rugby Riken rolled to his right, found nobody over the middle of the field, and had nobody to the right. Fitzgerald's covered. Everybody else is covered to the right. Circles back around. He has defenders all over him. Throws just a jump ball up to the other side of the end zone. And I was sitting here thinking, throw it out of bounds, throw it away, because the clock is winding down on him. That play took all 9 seconds of their time. Just lofted it to the back pylon on the other side of the field. Rex Riken came down with it, and the official ruled he had his feet in. That was a wild play. They're looking at it right now, and we'll see if this one stands.
That was a strange play. I thought Riken. Yeah, Briar Cliff here. They're going to challenge it.
Yep.
I thought Riken was out of bounds. Now, that's in the far corner of the end zone, on the far side of the field from our broadcast location, and in an area of the field where the lights not necessarily aren't the brightest. I mean, it's well lit. But I thought he was out of bounds. I thought he was out of bounds, and I thought he didn't catch it. I thought it was over his head. I couldn't see for sure. And it was caught somehow by Riken, and according to the official, he got his toes down in that left corner of the end zone. At the moment, it is 22-6 with no time on the clock here in quarter number 2. This is a huge play. Now, when I saw the whistle, I thought there was 1 second on the clock when I looked up after the play was over. Now, it may be, even if it's incomplete, they may put a second back on the clock. Who knows?
That could be interesting. That could be interesting if a second goes back up. They'd probably just settle for the field goal in that case. But once again, that play.
If this touchdown stands, that's a game changer.
Oh, that's insane. That is putting the Lancers up 22-6 going into the locker room. But when you talk about how you thought that was out of bounds, I wasn't sure. I was still watching it. And when you said out of bounds, I was still staring at the official, waiting for a signal, because it was close. It was close. Wondered if Riken was able to get a foot down. Official ruled he did, and they're going to look at this one. So they are in the Briarcliff did officially challenge it. They are in the replay booth right now. We're looking at them over in the blue tent.
Yeah, they got to go to the far side of the field.
They got to take the long jog over the other side of the field, go to the blue tent, and that's exactly where they are right now looking at this one. We'll give you an update as soon as we get it, but as it stands at the moment, and once again, it's called on the field touchdown. That's big as well, because you got to have the right camera angle in order to get it overturned.
Conclusive evidence.
Not to hate on where we're at here, but this is not the NFL where we have 40 different camera angles. We're going to have 2 or 3 here.
Field from the official. Again, no time left on the clock here. We're at the end of the second quarter. Replay challenge in effect. Rex Riken catching a 4-yard pass in the end zone. And if it stands, then they'll try the point after kick. At the moment, it's 22-6. So a huge, huge replay here. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. We're at Memorial Field in Sioux City, and things have come to a standstill here as the officials looking at the replay on the far end of the field. To our broadcast left here, that's the east side of the field here at Memorial. This is an east-west field here in Sioux City, right off Hamilton Boulevard. We had some motorcycles going by here earlier. Heard the roar of them. Normally I expect that if I'm out, calling a game in Spearfish or Sturgis or something like that, but not necessarily here in Sioux City. Although a lot of people having fun tonight, but the visiting team, well, they got the bigger smiles on their face at the moment. Again, the officials still under that replay tent. Well, we got a moment here. I'd like to remind you that Mount Marty football brought to you in part by Foreman Charters. Let Foreman Charters do the driving for you on your next trip. See upcoming tours at foremanbus.com. And they are certainly taking their time here, as we'll have the halftime show coming up in just a moment here. It's being brought to you by Parker Hannafin. We got a lot to talk about with stats recap. We'll get you scores from around the GPAC and around major college football. We'll also give you a baseball update as well, as the playoffs are underway in Major League Baseball. A couple games already in the books, a couple of games still in progress at the moment. And we are glancing over to the east side of the field here at Memorial Field. The officials still taking a look at it. They have not moved.
Yeah, and then they're looking at a couple of things. Once again, you mentioned it earlier, whether they're looking at the clock as well. They might still put a second back on, in which case Mount Marty even have to kick off if it's scored. Oh, here we go. They've exited the blue tent, and now they've got to take the 100-yard jog back over to the other end of the field. But two refs are making it. They're at the 20. The 25-30 in their own side of the field, getting to the 40-yard line. Oh, we're approaching midfield.
Mark Harris is our referee for tonight's contest. He is going to get in position and make the call. We'll try to listen to it on the PA here.
The call stands.
Call stands. Touchdown, Lancers.
Oh, man, what a catch from Rex Reichen, the All-American tight end.
The money man cashes in again for Mount Marty. And now the point after kick, they're going to leave 0 on the clock, so this should be the last play of the first half. The point after try, Jack Finder to kick it. Chase Manker is the holder. The kick is on the way. It disappears into the night, and it is good. At halftime, Lancers, they drove 90 yards on that drive. Remember, they were back at their own 10-yard line, but they drive all the way downfield. 7 plays, 90 yards, 59 seconds. Rugby Reichen to Rex Reichen, 4 yards. That is how we end our first half of football here at Memorial Field in Sioux City. We're going to take a timeout, come back with the halftime show. It's brought to you by Parker Hannafin. You know, Parker of Yankton is excited to announce a generous wage increase for all production positions. Choose your specialty, choose your shift, enjoy amazing benefits from day one, and a new increased wage offer there at Parker of Hannafin. Parker Hannafin. Learn more at parker.com. Back in a couple of minutes right here on KYNT.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing. It's the creamiest root beer ever.
1919 root beer is the perfect treat. Brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients. It's the creamiest, full-bodied, alcohol and caffeine-free draft root beer available. It's a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
Hey, son, can you hand me that vice grip? As any farmer or rancher knows, having the right tools in the toolbox is important. That goes for your ag lending as well. If you're considering expansion, you with your ag financing needs.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
In they come and out they go. That's what's happening at Lewis & Clark Ford with our new 2024 Ford F-150s. I'm Brandon Tykrow. When we get in a newly designed 2024 F-150, they're not sticking around long. Buyers are loving the new engine options, the standard 12-inch display screen, heroic towing capacity, and a packaged version to fit every budget. Stop in and see why the 2024 Ford F-150 is the hottest truck on the market. Lewis & Clark Ford, 4th and Capitol, Yankton.
Enjoy some Yankton hospitality at the Fairfield Inn & Suites or the Holiday Inn Express. As the newest hotel in Yankton, the Fairfield offers you a comfortable, relaxing stay in modern rooms. For business travelers, Fairfield is the perfect place to rest after a long day of work or use their meeting room for small meetings. The Holiday Inn Express features large family rooms, hot breakfast, and free happy hour. To get a great rate and flexible reservation changes for either hotel, call the Fairfield or Holiday Inn Express direct.
What a night it has been so far for Mount Marty football. 23-6 at halftime over Briar Cliff. Some unusual plays here. An intercepted pass returned for 2 points on a botched, not a botch, a PAT attempt by Briar Cliff. You don't see that every day. And a catch in the end zone as time expires here in quarter number 2. They had to look at the replay for quite some time, but it stands. Reichen to Reichen for 4 yards as time expires, and it's 23-6 Mount Marty over Briar Cliff here at the break. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. What a crazy night of football it's been so far in a lot of different aspects here, but Mount Marty doing what they need to do, and I tell you what, it's kind of been a bend but don't break. Briar Cliff has driven, but then Mount Marty's defense has risen to the occasion on a couple times, getting some big losses on third down plays.
Yeah, they've been able to get off the field on third down, and that has been extremely good for Mount Marty. Right at the moment, Briar Cliff is under 50% converting on the money down. They are 4 of 9. Lancers on the other end, they are 5 of 6 on third down. They've been able to keep drives moving. They've had long, extended drives, getting down the field, getting in the end zone. 23-6 is your score. And once again, 23-6, if simple math serves me, which it never does, but I do have a calculator, that is a 17-point advantage, which makes this a 3-possession game. So that is a massive extra point that went in for the Lancers as well. 17-point advantage at halftime.
Let's check out some of the game stats here. It's brought to you by the Meat Lodge. You want top quality meat at great prices? Well, head to the Meat Lodge in Yankton. They're on the way to the lake on Highway 52. Tehl, what's the rundown?
We'll take a look at Rugby Reichen, the starting quarterback. He's got 83 yards with 2 touchdowns at the half with a long of 70. That is just kind of where the majority of those yardage came in. He's 5 of 8 throwing the football. The Lancers have had a lot of screen passes, short gains. That I think he was sitting around 13 yards, or actually 9 yards in the ball game before that last second drive. The 70-yard pass to his brother Rex Reichen, and then the 4-yard touchdown pass. Without those 74 yards, he was sitting at 9 yards in that first half. So the Lancers have certainly got to get that passing game going in the second half. They've got to be able to throw down the field as they did at the end of the second quarter. Running the football, Malachi Hartz has been effective. He's averaging 5.4 yards a carry. He has 38 yards on the ground on 7 carries. Rugby Reichen as well is running the ball pretty good. He's got 23 yards on the ground on 5 carries. Kyle Hirsch has 3 ground attempts for 6 yards. Receiving, Rex Reichen, 74 yards and a touchdown on those 2 receptions to end the half. Fitzgerald has 2 for 12 and a touchdown of I believe 6 yards as well. And then Kyle Hirsch ended up catching a screen pass that went backwards for 3. On the other end, Briar Cliff, Brock Saya is 9 of 15, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, 108 yards, 60% completion percentage. His receivers, Kerrigan has 75 yards through the air on 3 catches, 21 yards through the day for Jaden Stowers. Fleury has 13 yards on 2 catches. Mason has 2 yards on 1 catch as well. Mason, their starting running back, has 45 yards on the ground on 12 carries, averaging 3.3, which is below his average on the year. Thomas ends up with 4.3 per carry. Had a couple of very good runs when he first came in, slowed down a little bit at the end of the half, but he's got 28 yards and 6 carries.
And time of possession nearly 2-1 in favor of Briar Cliff at 19:25 to 10:35. Of course, the most overrated stat and probably most misleading stat in all of sports. Third down efficiency, Mount Marty 5 of 6, Briar Cliff 4 of 9. 9 first downs for Briar Cliff, 8 for Mount Marty, and that's how some of the stats stack up here. Anything else that catches your eye?
Those were the ones. Third down is massive when it comes to this one. The other stat that we can go through is total plays per yards and the total per play. Lancers are getting 6.26 yards per play in the first half, 23 total offensive snaps for 144 yards. Briar Cliff 172 yards on 35 offensive snaps, averaging 4.9 yards per play.
Penalties, 3 against Briar Cliff, none against Mount Marty. That is a very good sign for the Lancers. This is the Halftime Report brought to you by Parker Hannafin. We'll take a break. Who are we talking to in our Halftime Report?
We spoke with the Mount Marty women's soccer program earlier this week on the Lancer Locker, and we're having a player profile of one of their athletes.
All right, that's coming up after this timeout. 23-6. It is Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff here at the break. Back with more right here on KYNT.
Looking for an easy way to travel? Let Foreman Charters do the driving for your next trip. Upcoming Christmas tours include Branson on November 17th to 22nd, features Christmas shows like the Grand Jubilee Buffet Dinner and Show, Showboat Branson Bell Dinner Cruise, and so much more. On December 6th to 8th, it's a musical Christmas in the Twin Cities area featuring the White Christmas and the Chanhassen Dinner Theater, and shopping at Mall of America. For more on Foreman Charter tours, go to foremanbus.com.
SureCo's newest wireless remote system, the SureLink, is based on the most advanced industrial Bluetooth technology, delivering greater reliability and range. The SureCo Pro offers SureCo's best-in-class express operation for simple, single-touch operation. Looking for a low-cost option? Then the SureLink EZR remote may be right for you. Give us a call at 1-800-474-8756 or find us at SureCo.com. Demand the best. Demand SureCo.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Quit hitting the snooze button on your new career. Wake up to recently increased wages, day one benefits, and an employer who puts you first. Grind through the workday in your own specialty. Assembler, machine operator, material handler, or line operation tech. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $2.35. Choose your shift and enjoy day one benefits. This isn't just a job, it's your future. Join us today. Find more information and apply now at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
Beef, pork, seafood, poultry, and more. All at the Meat Lodge in Yankton. Get top quality meats at great prices. They have specialty items like lamb, brisket, mahi-mahi, crab legs, and lobster. They even have non-meat options like Dimmick cheese, pickled items, seasonings, and sauces. For your convenience, you can call and order curbside pickup or order online at meatlodge.com. The Meat Lodge in Yankton, on the way to the lake on Highway 52.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
All right, back here on our halftime show from Parker Hannafin. We go now to our halftime interview from Marlowe, Woodward, and Huff, attorneys at law in Yankton. We go to our player profile now. Earlier this week on the Lancer Locker on Monday, we spoke with the Mount Marty women's soccer program. Head coach Cynthia Chavez was in the booth talking to us about the progress being made this season, as well as 2 different players we were able to speak to, a sophomore captain in Kendra McKinney and a senior captain in Sydney Ware out of North Carolina. Let's go ahead and play a little snippet of that full 40-minute show with Sydney Ware as she talked about where she's from, her home, and what her future plans are. Senior captain Sydney Ware from Monday.
So after here at Mount Marty, I have my major in human services with minors in psychology and criminal justice. My plan is to go into my master's and get my master's in counseling. And after that, my biggest thing is I would love to be a counselor in mental health with dealing with depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Further on down the road, I would love to work with veterans and focusing in mental health.
So you're trying to get the mental health aspect
Yes.
of working with veterans, PTSD counseling, things like that.
Yes.
What is it about that that drew your eye?
So I grew up with in a military family. Both parents were military, and growing up, I never understood like why my parents would do certain things, like how they would act. And then also growing up, going through somebody as myself who has anxiety, and as in this generation, it's starting to be accounted for, being noticed in a lot more, and that's definitely something I would love to make a voice and an impact in, is mental health, especially within athletes too.
And so you had mentioned that you want to try and do it online so that you can kind of work through
Yes.
it. So tell me about that part of it.
So with a master's, you can either you can do online, or you can attend a campus for how long your master's program is. My biggest thing is I would love to do it online so I could also stay working in, whether it's working with counseling or psychiatry or just working as social work or something in criminal justice in the meantime, so I can keep in the work mind, keep in the school mind, and also just excelling in those skills while also going into grad school also.
You are from Parkston, or went to Parkston, and you're from Littleton, North Carolina,
Yes.
correct? Where
Yep.
is that in?
So it is about located, I would say, about 15 minutes away from Fort Bragg, and then with the capital known as Raleigh, about an hour away from Raleigh.
Now, geography is not something I'm good at when it comes to North Carolina. Is that, where in the state is that? Western, eastern?
So it is located kind of in the middle of the state, kind of leaning more towards the east part. So we're about, I would say, 2 hours away from the coast. So
one of the things, obviously, I didn't know this going into this, but in North Carolina right now, obviously, the hurricane is devastating. Have you have any personal things with that? Any family out there?
Yes. So all my dad's side of the family is from the East Coast, but for me, my family is still in North Carolina. I have family that's also near the mountains in a way, but we're getting affected by it pretty badly. It's never been this bad, especially for the mountains in North Carolina. We've never witnessed anything to begin anything from a hurricane, so North Carolina's hurting a little bit.
That interview brought to you by Marlowe, Woodward, and Huff. You can find the full version on KYN-TV. Just search the Lancer Locker from this last Monday. Let's take a break, come back, keep things rolling on halftime.
Hungry for the best chicken wings in town? Then head to Checkers Sports Bar and Grill. Whether you're craving mild, hot, or something with a kick, they've got the wings that will keep you coming back for more. They'll have every NFL game on so you won't miss a moment of the action. Grab a cold one, cheer on your favorite team, and enjoy the ultimate game day atmosphere. Wings, football, friends, it's all at Checkers. Open daily for all of your wing cravings. At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Welcome back to the halftime show brought to you by Parker Hannafin. On a Saturday night, we're alive in Sioux City, 23-6. Mount Marty ahead of Briar Cliff along with Tehl Tanner. I'm Steve Thum. Let's check out the scoreboard. It's brought to you by Gerstner Oil. No matter what you drive, make sure you fuel up at Triple Time Rudy's there on Broadway in Yankton. Before we get to the football scores, let's take a quick glance. Major League Baseball final scores in the playoffs. Cleveland beats Detroit 7-0. The Mets knock off the Phillies 6-2. In progress, Royals ahead of the Yankees, bottom of the 6th, 5-4. And they just got underway, and the Padres jump out to a 3-0 lead on the Dodgers right away. Let's turn to college football. First, in the GPAC.
Yeah, once again, the big upset of the day. Concordia defeats Northwestern in Orange City. That was Northwestern's home stadium. They fall 29-17. In GPAC play to Concordia. Concordia looking dangerous here. Massive upset. National standings here for a team that was looking like they might go win one. For the other GPAC schools today, 3 other games happened. Dordt hosted Doane. That one ended up being a blowout, 38-3, Dordt over Doane. Dakota Wesleyan went to Hastings and won today, 31-10. And finally, Midland defeated Waldorf, but that was closer than I expected, 28-14 final Midland on top.
Yep, and Morningside with the bye this week in the GPAC. Major college football, massive upset. Number 1 Alabama goes down at the hands of Vanderbilt. 40-35 the score there. It was Ohio State beating Iowa 35-7. Georgia rolls by Auburn 31-13. Georgia number 5 in the land. You know they're going to move up. Number 12 Ole Miss bounces back. They beat South Carolina 27-3. Number 23 Indiana over Northwestern 41-24. It was Penn State, number 7 in the land, beating UCLA 27-11. Number 9 Missouri got thumped by number 25 Texas A&M 41-10. The final there, and SMU knocks off number 22 Louisville 34-27. Games in progress. Number 4 Tennessee trailing at Arkansas near halftime 3-0 in a low-scoring game. Number 21 Boise State is way up on Utah State at halftime 49-17. Number 23 Clemson at halftime over 1-4 Florida State 23-7. Florida State really struggling. It's Minnesota ahead of number 11 USC near halftime 10-7, and Iowa State near halftime. They're number 16. They're leading at home against Baylor 19-14. That game's got 2 minutes to go until halftime. In the Mo Valley today, the USD Coyotes, boy, did they make a statement today. 59-0 over Murray State. Final score, South Dakota State beats Northern Iowa 41-3. Final, Youngstown State over Indiana State 21-14. North Dakota State beats arch rival North Dakota 41-17. In the third, it's Illinois State ahead of Southern Illinois 23-7. And in the Big 12's got a lot of night games going on tonight. We'll catch some of those scores later. Washington ahead of number 10 Michigan near halftime 14-10. And other scores from the Big 10, Wisconsin beat Purdue 52-6. So here it's 23-6 as we wrap up the halftime show by Parker Hannafin. It is going to be Mount Marty to get the football here. I thought earlier it was Briar Cliff that's going to get the football. That is incorrect. Mount Marty starts the second half with the football. And this second half of football is brought to you by Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations with Core Trust, member FDIC.
Yeah, Mount Marty's got a chance to go 2 for 1 out of the halftime locker room here. Already up 3 possessions. Go down here, get in the end zone again. You could go up 4 possessions before Briar Cliff even touches the football.
Kickoff, short kick into no man's land, and it is going to be caught by one of the upbacks. That is Hirsch. He collected at the 30 and gets to the 34. Almost bumped into another man, but they straightened it out just in time. So the second half underway here in Sioux City under the lights at Memorial Stadium here. Also home to Bishop Heelan High School. Of course, they've had a very, very successful high school program over many, many years.
Very much so. So Lancers march out their starting O, and Malachi Hartz looks to be the guy that they're going to want to lean on here.
One would think with this lead, as he is the man in the pistol formation behind Rugby Riken, he'll take the handoff, dances up the middle, doesn't get very far, tries to spin away from trouble, and he'll get about 2 yards when all is said and done.
Ended up falling forward. They give him 2, but he was met right at the line of scrimmage. It was a good push by the Briar Cliff starting D-line there.
Mount Marty football tonight brought to you by Avera. Moving health forward, it is Avera. We're going to have some really tough choices tonight for move of the game and player of the game.
Oh, we are.
We got some of those may be play of the year candidates so far. Handoff, Hartz has a hole on the left side. He gets to the 40, breaks a tackle, tries to get to the sideline to the 45 near midfield. He's shoved out of bounds into the Charger bench. but that should move the chains, and it will. They'll
Trying-
put them down at the 49 or the 50, either one, 49-yard line of Briar Cliff.
Trying to look at the starting offensive line for the Lancers in this second half, and things are definitely different. We'll try and give you an update here. We have had some injuries.
Yep,
in
Jonas
the last
Kelp.
couple of games.
Yeah, Jonas Kelp in the lineup.
He is in there at right guard right now, I believe.
Yep.
It is Xavier Gable out on the right tackle spot.
Handoff up the middle. Hartz gets about 2-yard gain, and that is all. At the end of the half, it was Anil Pastrana is hurt. David
Grabo is out on the right
yep.
tackle right now. Grabo's out at the right tackle spot. Gable has moved to left guard, it looks like, with Anil Pastrana, the starting left guard, out. The starting right tackle in Xavier Gable goes to left guard, and the backup left guard, David Grabo, goes to right tackle. If you only have 5 offensive linemen, you don't have an offensive line in the GPAC. You got to have backups because injuries happen.
Yep, that's just the nature of this game.
Lancers have 2 backup offensive linemen in their starting lineup to start the second half.
Here comes Hartz dancing around the left side on 2nd down and 8, and he'll get maybe 4 yards. Sets up a manageable 3rd down and 4. Just underway, 3rd quarter, first possession of the second half for either team. Ball in the hands of the Lancers. They'll actually set it back at the 45, 3rd and 5 coming up. It's 23-6, Mount Marty ahead of the homestanding Chargers of Briar Cliff. 3rd and 5 coming up. Lancers operating from right to left on your radio dial. Hartz moves from a receiver to a running back to the right of his quarterback. Straight drop back, now a rollout to the right. Reichen in trouble. Tucks and runs, cuts back. He'll have the first down as he dives across the 40. He'll be down near the 37-yard line. Move the chains, first down, Lancers.
When you say shifty to describe a quarterback, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly what this guy is. He is just going back and forth, stutter stepping, making people miss, galloping his way through the defense, and he finds first down yardage in what should have been a sack.
Yeah, that was great. A great pass rush that time by Briar Cliff, but Reichen avoided it. From the left hash mark, first down and 10, Mount Marty, the 37-yard line. Blitz coming. Handoff. Hartz follows some blockers. Dances the outside to the left side. He's across the 35, run out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Let's see where the official marks him out. It may be across the 30. And let's say at the 27. They're going to put it at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like that's about inches to the first down marker.
Call it a gain of 9 on that last play. 2nd and 1 coming up. Lancers on the move to start this 3rd quarter. They're already up by 17. Some points here really puts the Chargers behind the 8 ball. 2nd and 1, a lot of options here. Let's see if they'll throw it down the field. Take a chance. Heath in motion. Handoff. They'll play it safe with Hartz. He'll have the first down. Little stutter step up in the middle across the 25 to the 24. Move the chains. First down, Mount Marty. Always like it on 2nd and 1 at that position. You know, depending on your quarterback and your play calling, maybe toss it to the end zone.
Oh, I always love taking shots in 2nd and 1, but the Lancers, they're trying to chew some clock here. They've already taken 4.5 minutes off the clock to start this 3rd quarter and end up with points. They're up 23-6 at the moment, trying to put more on. They're inside of the 30.
Yep, just outside the red zone at the 24-yard line. Roll out, Reichen to the right side, loads it up, throws it down the middle. Nobody home, incomplete in the middle of the end zone. Just 2 Charger DBs were back there. Not even sure who the intended target was.
I believe that's Trevor Fitzgerald over there. He just slipped right around the 5-yard line as he was trying to get into the end zone. Comes back.
Yeah, he looks a little shaken up out there, but he's going to stay in the game. Trevor Fitzgerald, the senior out of Yankton, he was walking a little gingerly back to the line of scrimmage, stays in there on 2nd down and 10. Clock stops, 10:02 left, 3rd quarter. Lancers on the move, up 23-6. They're at the 24-yard line of the Chargers. The pistol formation here. Fitzgerald goes in motion. Play action, throw out. Fitzgerald catches it at the 25, races to the inside to the 20, thrown down near the 17-yard line. Good gain on that play.
Now make it 3rd and short very easily.
Yeah, about 3rd and 2 coming up.
3rd and 2 is the lights are going on and off in here, but the Coasts are turning the lights off all game long. But it's 3rd and 2 for the Lancers. Obvious 4-down territory. You could settle for 3 from this spot if you'd like to as well, but options are open.
From the right hash mark, 3rd down and 2. Ball at the 22-yard line. Pistol formation. One receiver either side. Double wing back set. Hartz, he'll have the first down running to his left. He'll get across the 20, and he's down near the 10-yard line. Good gain on the play.
And I think they'll give him the 11, which means the chains are still moving here. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 11. Lancers can still technically get that first down marker.
If they make it to the 1-yard line, but the Lancers with a very good drive going at the moment here to start the 3rd quarter of play. 8:45 left to go. 3rd quarter, 23-6. Mount Marty on top. They're in the red zone at the 11-yard line. Receivers either side. And the pistol formation with Hartz. Here comes Fitzgerald in motion from right to left. Hartz is going to try the right side. Cuts up the middle across the 5. Near the goal line, he's tackled near the 3. What a good gain on the play. And we have a Charger shaken up back at the 10-yard line. And let's see if the referees will stop the clock. They will. Trying to catch that Briar Cliff player that's down. Trying to read the number here, but can't. I think it's one of the D linemen down near the 10-yard line. Clock stops, 8:14 left. Can't see as there's some people standing in the way. The trainers come out there. We're trying to read the number on that injured Charger player. And he will be helped to his feet. That is actually, I'm mistaken, it looks like maybe one of the linebackers. That is, one of the backup linebackers, Max Rascon Jr., a junior out of Stockton, California. He will walk a little gingerly back to the Briar Cliff sideline, favoring that right leg. Let's hope the young man is okay. 8:14 left, 3rd quarter, 23-6 in favor of Mount Marty.
So far, I'm showing this drive to be an 11-play, 62-yard drive. Inside of the 5-yard line is Mount Marty. 8:14 on the clock. This has gone the entire quarter so far.
You know, John Michelotti loves this drive.
Oh, yeah. This is what you want your drives to be. Every football coach is just having a good time watching this one.
If you're the team on offense.
That's very fair.
2nd down and 1 from the 2-yard line. Handoff, Hartz up the middle. He'll struggle towards the end zone. Did he get the first down? I think he did.
He was reaching the ball, trying to break the plane. They don't mark that he got the touchdown. I don't even think they're going to give him the first down.
Nope, no gain on the play. So it's 3rd and 1.
Oh, and I think Jonas Kelp got a little tangled up there. So now Alex Gove out of North Platte, Nebraska, freshman, is going to come in.
Yep, 6 foot, 284 pounds, and what a spot. 3rd and 1 from the 2-yard line.
That is a big play to miss another offensive lineman for Mount Marty.
Pistol formation, Fitzgerald in motion, circles around in the backfield. Handoff, Hartz up the middle, stutter step. He'll push his way forward, touchdown, Mount Marty. What a hesitation step. Reading the blocks. Great job, Malachi Hartz, and credit the big men up front.
Yeah, credit the big men, including the backup freshman, Alex Gove, who was in there. At the right guard position, he came in and filled, and they went to the right side of that line. They needed that freshman to get the big push, and he did exactly that. The Lancers are hurting on the offensive line position right now.
Reminds me of the Dordt game from last year.
Yeah.
What, we lose about 3 guys in that game?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
it
tough.
That was, it was a loss to a very good team, and then losing, I believe it was like 3 starters on the offensive line. Here comes the extra point. It's up, and it is good by Jack Finder. 7:18 left, 3rd quarter, 30-6. Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff. Back with the kickoff in 30 seconds right after this message and station identification right here on KYNT.
A big thank you from Mount Marty University to one of Yankton's greatest employers and friend of the community, Aztec. They're very proud to support the Mount Marty Lancers. The vision at Aztec is to build industry-changing solutions that create life-changing opportunities. And you can build a career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. Click careers at aztecindustries.com. Best wishes, Mount Marty, from your friends at Aztec.
KYNT, Yankton, FM 1021 and AM 1450.
What a drive by Mount Marty. 13 plays, 65 yards, 7:37 off the clock to start that third quarter of play. Wow. They score the touchdown. Malachi Hartz, they're up 30-6, are the Lancers. Here's the kickoff.
That was one of the more impressive drives this season for Mount Marty.
On the return, that's Corrigan. He's tripped up, and the ball's loose around the 26-yard line. Lancers say they've got it. Briar Cliff says they've got it. There's a pileup at the 26-yard line. Lancers are kind of celebrating, but the defense is trotting out onto the field.
Yeah, I think Briar Cliff got on that one. From my eyes,
Yep.
I was pretty sure a Charger is the one who hopped on it, and that is exactly what it'll be. So the Chargers escape with one there. The ball came out, but they're able to get on top of it. 1st and 10, Briar Cliff. But let's go back to that last offensive drive for Mount Marty that ended up making this a 30-6 game. 24 points is the spread right at the moment in the third quarter with 7:09 remaining. It was a 13-play, 65-yard drive that took up 7 minutes and 37 seconds of gameplay. When you're winning in the third quarter, to have a 7.5-minute drive, 13 plays that ends in a score, you can't ask for anything better.
That is not ideal. That's kind of the perfect start for Briar Cliff.
You couldn't ask for anything better for Mount Marty right there.
Because now you figure the Chargers are going to put the ball in the air constantly. Saya drops back, throws over the middle, got a man. It is caught near midfield by Whiting, the tight end. And he'll cut back against the crowd, and he is clobbered down near the 30-yard line. Big hit there by one of the backup linebackers for Mount Marty as he came and hit the unsuspecting receiver as he cut back, and that was Baldwin with a big hit. Whiting got shaken up, but that was a big gain on the play.
Yeah, the officials are going to call a timeout here to get check on him. The Lancer was kind of celebrating the hit there. I don't know, that was still a massive gain for Briar Cliff. They're inside of the 30 all of a sudden. You just mentioned that it's likely Briar Cliff is going to start going to the air more, but even knowing that, Lancers gave up a massive play over the middle of the field.
Yeah, all the way down to the 29-yard line of the Lancers. Oh, the big catch by Stephen Whiting, Jr. out of Lodi, California. Know that song, or the song by Creedence Clearwater Revival? Oh, Lord, stuck in Lodi again. All right, I'm dating myself. I know music from the 60s, but that's my old rock and roll DJ talking here. 6:45 left, third quarter, 30-6. Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff, and now the team's heading to their respective sideline. Stephen Whiting, the junior, again, he took a big shot. Kind of, again, coming in from that unsuspecting angle. The pursuit caught up with him, and he changed directions. And that's when Baldwin just lowered the boom on him, and let's hope he's okay. He's back up on his own feet.
And he's walking off under his own power. That's good. He had a great route there. Great getting open deep in that post route, one-on-one with the safety. Brinsley was able to get a great catch and run, cut back across the field. That's where he kind of got blindsided as he cut back, but a great catch and run for the tight end, and they need him to do more of that, so hopefully he's able to come back.
Yeah, Chargers desperately need to score and play catch-up here in the third quarter. Pistol formation, 1st down and 10 from the Lancer 29-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Play action, throw, pass, too tall, incomplete on the slant pattern. That was Flaherty, the sophomore out of Sunrise, Florida. And there were 2 defenders there. That's the thing with that. It's a slant pattern timing, but, boy, you got to be aware for that safety in the middle of the field.
Yeah, those timing routes are definitely interesting. The safety has got to be the guy you're keeping an eye on. 2nd and 10 here, Briar Cliff. Love their black jerseys, by the way, the homecoming look, the nice dark jerseys, the gold letters, and the blue helmets. They're looking clean today. Lancers in the road whites with the gold tops.
2nd down and 10, shotgun set, and it's going to be a pitch to Mason, follows his blockers around the right side. He'll get across the 25 near the 20-yard line. Of course, Briar Cliff, normally the royal blue and gold, their colors. They have had gold uniforms for homecoming before, and a number of years ago, about 10 years ago, they went to black uniforms for their road uniforms for basketball. I thought that was always a pretty neat look for them. And I got to tip your cap. There are pretty sharp uniforms out there for the Chargers tonight on their homecoming night. But unfortunately for the home team, it's the visiting team, the Lancers, with the big lead at 30-6. Under 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's about 3rd down and 3 from the 22-yard line. Shotgun set. Mason takes the handoff, runs to his right. He'll have the first down across the 20, puts his shoulders down inside the 15, knocked out of bounds near the 14-yard line. Move the chains. Chargers got a good drive going here.
Yeah, they're trying to respond. They need to finish this drive, need to get into the end zone here, and they've been looking good going down the field so far.
And you know, for Briar Cliff, this is 4-down territory. A field goal does them no good here.
This is a make-or-break drive.
Yep.
This is it.
Yep, 5-10 and counting in the third quarter. Chargers in the red zone. They're at the 12-yard line. 1st down and 10. 2 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end on the right side of the formation. Mason to the right of his quarterback in the shotgun set. Takes the handoff. Again, angles to the right. He's across the 10, trying to push the pile forward. He got about to the 7-yard line. Forward progress stopped there. Chargers, this is one of their best-looking drives of the night so far.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going very, very good for them. That obviously with that big pass being the majority of the offense, but they've had a couple of very good runs as well. They're in the red zone for the Lancers, trying to finish off this possession. Down 30-6 with 4.5 to go. This drive is taking a couple of minutes, but they've still got time to come back in this one. They've got to start it now, though.
66 degrees under the lights here in Sioux City at Memorial Field. 2nd down and 5 coming up on the 4-minute mark. Mason tries the left side, trying to turn the corner to the 5, to the 3. He lost the football trying to reach forward, and he's out of bounds at the 3. I think he stepped out before the ball was loose from his hands, because I tell you what, if he's still in bounds and the ball's out of his hands and it trickles out of the end or out of bounds in the end zone, that's a touchback.
Oh, that'd
but
be a
but
killer.
it's not.
As soon as
He stepped out of bounds first, trying to reach the ball forward.
I saw the ball come out, and I thought that's exactly what happened. Then the official rules down out of bounds kind of saved Briar Cliff on that one. That was close. Got to hold on to the football.
Yep, but the official was right there on the spot. It is now 3rd down and 2. Or check that. They're going to give him a 1st down. 1st down and goal from the 2. I thought it was 3rd down, but it's 1st down. Shotgun set. Saya has his running back to his right. A little too much time taken, and I believe a timeout got called by Briar Cliff. They have to burn a timeout. A little bit of confusion here with 3:09 left, third quarter. Mount Marty up 30-6 over Briar Cliff. We'll step away for 30 seconds. This timeout brought to you by Pizza Ranch. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Yankton Pizza Ranch. They're on Broadway, 665-1222. Back in 30 seconds on KYNT.
Taylor is not great at making decisions,
Please do not ever ask me to pick what to watch on Netflix.
which is why she likes Runza.
Oh yeah, I like my golden hot crinkle fries, I like my homemade onion rings, and frings, which is when you get both together.
No tough decisions there. Now, do you dip them in ketchup or our homemade ranch?
How could you do this to me?
Sorry. Come get our famous fries, onion rings, or both today. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
A good drive being engineered by Briar Cliff. They're on the move. 1st and goal, 2-yard line, but it's Mount Marty on top of the Chargers 30-6. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. Under the lights here at Memorial Field in Sioux City. Our number 3 night game of the year?
Yeah, this is, I think, 3 of them, and 4 will be next week.
Yep, next on that Friday night matchup against Dort. And then we have the bye week, and then it's all 1 o'clock games the rest of the way. We'll talk more about that later. Back to action. First and goal, Chargers from the Lancer 2. Play action, throw to the end zone, tapped away, almost intercepted in the left corner of the end zone. Whiting back into the game, and that was tapped away from him by Muhammad in the left corner of the end zone.
And Muhammad almost had the play of the game there as he tapped it up into the air and was almost able to come down with it, diving for the football. Not quite. Briar Cliff still alive here.
Marty football brought to you in part by Sureco. When you need to be sure, make it Sureco. Second and goal from the 2.
Still got 3 chances to get it in here.
Yeah, 4 down territory here for Briar Cliff, no doubt. Mason to the left of his quarterback in the shotgun set. Receivers either side. Taking his time, takes the snap. He's going to throw to the end zone. It's going to be caught. Touchdown, Whiting, his 5th of the year. The big tight end back in the game.
Well, they got it in the end zone, and now kind of a decision because you're down 24 points. That is 8 3 times. If you go for 2 here, it's technically a 2-possession game if you get this in. But if they go for 1, it's still 3 possessions here. So, honestly, I'd go for 2, and if you get it, you make it a 2-possession game. It's hard to get 3 in a row, but when you've been struggling on offense and you're going to the 4th quarter in 3 minutes, you got to start thinking of how many possessions you're going to get.
Well, they go for the point after kick, and it is good by Jacob Schroeder. We've got 3:01 left to go, 3rd quarter, 30-13. Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff, back with the kickoff in 30 seconds on KYNT.
When the leaves start to fall and the air turns crisp, there's only one beer to reach for: Shiner Oktoberfest. Brewed in the heart of Texas, the Marzen-style beer is packed with caramel malts and a hint of hops for that smooth, toasty flavor perfect for cooler nights. Whether enjoying the changing colors or gathering around the fire with friends, Shiner Oktoberfest is your perfect companion for fall weather. So raise a glass and enjoy the season with Shiner Oktoberfest.
Eight plays, 74 yards, 4:08 time of possession. As Briar Cliff closes the margin here, but they're still down by a bunch, 30-13. Lancers on top of the Chargers. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum, live on a Saturday night in Sioux City at Memorial Field. Homecoming for the Chargers. They will kick it off with Jacob Schroeder. 2 men back deep for the Chargers. Let's see, will they do an onside? Will they kick it deep towards the sideline, and it's going to be caught near the 25-yard line. Ogle, one of the up men, is tackled at the 30 on the short return.
Yeah, the up man, but he's actually one of their punt returners, so he's able to kind of run that a couple steps. But
what Mount Marty has done several times is try to kick that ball into kind of no man's land, try to get it beyond that maybe second wall into the third wall where you expect more blockers than returners. But the Lancers were wise to it. They had kind of like the semi-good hands team out there, kind of more extra return men, guys used to handling the rock at that position, kind of in the mid-level of the return team. Paid off there for the Lancers. As they have it 1st and 10, 2:56 left to go, 3rd quarter, pistol formation. Play action, rollout, pass, caught. It is going to be dropped right away is Vigans, and he may lose a yard or 2 on that screen pass. It was nicely read by the Charger defense. Loss of 1 on the play.
And we talked about that last drive for the Lancers, 13 plays, 65 yards. Almost all of that was on the ground. They ran the ball very effectively. Malachi Hartz all of a sudden has 87 yards in the game and a touchdown. Lancers are trying to salt some clock here, trying to salt away and get this victory. They're going to have to run the football effectively.
Remember, Hartz was just bottled up last week by Morningside. He got next to nothing all game long. 2nd down and 11, play action. Riken in trouble, rolls out, gets a block, tries to get to the sideline, throws on the run, and it is incomplete. Intended for Malachi Hartz at about the 40-yard line, but he was out of bounds. That stops the clock with 2:08 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Big 3rd and 11 coming up because momentum starting to swing towards the side of Briar Cliff.
And the Lancers kind of got away from their own bread and butter there. They start throwing the ball on 1st and 2nd down. Tackle for loss on the first one on a screen, incompletion on the second one. Now you have to stay with the air on 3rd and 11.
Well, they'll have the pistol formation. One receiver out to the left, one out to the right. And they're going to do a play action. Here comes the pressure. Riken throws on the run, and it is going to be caught by Hansen. And no, they're going to say he's out of bounds. Yes, out of bounds. He was a couple yards beyond the stick. Boy, he caught the ball but didn't have his feet in bounds. It was 2 yards beyond the first down marker. And all of a sudden, little life being shown by the fans and by the bench of Briar Cliff.
Well, Briar Cliff just had a good drive. They're able to go down the field and get into the end zone for the second time today, and all of a sudden Mount Marty goes 3 and out, and they're going to give him the ball right back.
They didn't burn much time off the clock with some incompletions there.
No, they got away from their bread and butter and running the football. They throw all 3 times.
Here comes Finder with the punt. Man, almost got to him. Carrigan will let it bounce, and it's going to take a Mount Marty bounce inside the 20, rolling around inside the 15, down near the 12-yard line. That was a good punt by Jack Finder, as again the pressure was coming from the Charger special teams unit.
Great punt by Finder. Able to flip that field position. It was looking like Briar Cliff might have been able to have a chance to return that one, but it goes about 10 yards over the return man head. Had no chance at that one.
All right, Charger offense will trot back out on the field with 1:46 left. Third quarter of play, 30-13. 3-score edge for Mount Marty, but the Chargers have a little momentum on their side. Let's see if the Lancer defense can shut down that Charger offense. Key drive here from the 12-yard line. First down and 10, Briar Cliff, pistol formation. Saya drops back, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left. He'll want to run, and he's going to be spun down across the 15 near the 17. That's pretty good scramble there.
Able to get 5 out of it. Second down for Briar Cliff. 1:30 to go before we go to this fourth quarter. Still down 17 are the Chargers. That's 3-possession game with 1:20 now to go.
Yeah, but they still have time.
They still have time.
So they don't have to go necessarily in that super hurry-up mode.
But you need to cash in on your possessions.
Yeah, Briar Cliff cannot afford empty possessions at this stage. They're going to run it on 2nd and 5, and that's Mason breaking loose as he dances to the outside. Ran up the middle initially, moved to the outside, and he'll get across the 20 to the 24, move the chains. Chargers have a fresh set of downs. Under a minute to go, third quarter, and that's the thing. When you've got that time left, you can stay two-dimensional. You just don't have to pass every down. First and 10. They'll go to the pistol formation with 2 receivers to the right, 1 out to the left. Saya looking, now claps his hands, fakes the handoff, being pressured, rolls to his left, throws on the run, incomplete for about the 30-yard line, and that was Flaherty, the intended receiver, right in front of the Lancer bench. Second down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, Briar Cliff has actually been able to run the ball pretty effectively today. We mentioned they're averaging under 70 yards a game on the season. They got 102 on the ground today, and Mason has quietly put together a pretty good performance. He's got 78 yards himself.
Second down and 10. 2 receivers in tight. They're going to go back to Mason on the run, and he's hit right away. No gain on the play. And that was Middleton in the middle of the things, but he wasn't alone.
I think the first guy there was the big nose tackle, Tyrell Klein, who got back there with Middleton. That was a great defensive play for the Lancers. Get him back for third down.
We're at the end of 3 quarters of play. It is Mount Marty 30, Briar Cliff 13. Back with the final quarter in 60 seconds right here on KYNT.
Make the move with Mason and the Move Group. The home buying process can be complex and overwhelming, and you may feel intimidated by the amount of information you need to learn. But you don't have to go it alone. Trust our professional real estate team to guide you through the process. From negotiating the best price to navigating the paperwork, you can expect help every step of the way. So call me, Mason Schramm, with the Move Group, and make the move with Mason.
If you want a job where your work matters, you belong at Avera. Here, we've invested in our workforce because every Avera team member drives our health ministry forward, making a difference in lives and communities every day. We offer competitive pay, great health insurance, and even career opportunities. We're putting people first, including you. Search for local job openings and apply at avera.org/careers.
Getting ready for the fourth quarter of play. I'm Steve Thum. He's Tehl Tanner. Lancer football on KYNT on a Saturday night. Fourth quarter ready to go. Mount Marty on top of Briar Cliff, 30-13. Chargers with the football. They operate right to left on your radio dial. They're facing a 3rd and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Corrigan on the left side as a receiver. 2 receivers out to the right. Blitz coming. Saya drops back. Throws under pressure. Tapped away, incomplete. It was right near the line of scrimmage. Looked like Whiting was the target, his safety valve man. He had 2 defenders there. Tell if he catches that ball, he's got 2 guys and 9 yards between him and the sticks.
Yeah, there was a little chance of getting there even if he caught it, but it is good to see Whiting back in the game after he was shaken up on the last drive. But credit the pass rush for Mount Marty. You're there, able to get to the quarterback, make the trajectory of the football, just affect it that much as he hit him as he throws, and now they got to punt it away at 4th and 10.
Ezekiel Robinson standing back at his own 32-yard line. Mendoza to punt it away. High snap brought down. Kick angles towards the side. Robinson lets it bounce. He'll let it roll at the 35 and out of bounds at the 32. So that's where Mount Marty takes over here, the beginning of the fourth quarter of play. You got any stats you want to run down here as we're through 3 quarters?
Yeah, looking at 3rd down efficiency, still the Lancers are just killing it on the money down. 8 of 10. They're hitting 80% on 3rd down. Briar Cliff under 50% still. They're sitting at 5 of 11. That's the biggest one so far. Time of possession, the Lancers, even with that massive drive in the 3rd quarter, still trailing 6 minutes, 25 minutes to 19 minutes. Briar Cliff on top. I love that stat.
First down and 10. Fitzgerald in motion, pistol formation. Play action, throws. Fitzgerald on the move. Screen pass to the left side. He's to the 40 and pushed out of bounds near the 43-yard line. Well, they're going to stay. He stepped out at the 40. Nice little swing out pass there.
And credit Trey Hansen, wide receiver, blocking downfield. 5'10", 175-pound wide receiver, was getting a heavy block downfield that led Fitzgerald.
Yeah, got 8.
Some good yards.
Yeah, 8 yards there on that play. 2nd and 2.
You can't run the screen game to the outside if you don't have wide receivers on the outside that can block. And Trey Hansen just kind of got a good one there.
Malachi Hart, 17 carries, 87 yards, a touchdown, averaging a little over 5 yards a carry. He's the deep man in the pistol. 2nd and 2. He'll take the handoff. He'll have the first down as he lunges forward. He's across the 45 to the 46. That's a gain of 6 yards. Move the chains for Mount Marty, and that's what they need to do. Keep the ball in the middle of the field. Keep moving the chains. Just grind that football down the field, much like they did for that opening drive in quarter number 3. Just let that clock whittle away. As I always say, when you are behind, the clock is your enemy. I wish my Philadelphia Eagles would have remembered that against the Atlanta Falcons in that game, but we won't go there.
Oh, you poor man.
Oh, at least we won a Super Bowl a few years ago.
Yeah, that was great. That's what I keep telling myself as a Broncos fan.
And there is a run up the middle, and that is going to be no gain, about a loss on the play, as Malachi Hartz was stuffed on that running play. 2nd down and 12 coming up, a loss of 2. That's the first negative run on the day for Malachi Hartz. He has been pretty effective on the ground. Really, the offense begins with him. If he is not running the ball effectively, Mount Marty's kind of in trouble. That happened last week against Morningside. Tonight, much more success as he's at 91 yards on the ground. 2nd and 12. Fitzgerald in motion from left to right. 2 receivers on the right side, pistol formation. Play action, Rugby Riken rolls out, looking for a safety valve, throws on the run. It's going to be caught at the 41-yard line, and that's Trey Hansen. First down, Lancers.
I was throwing blocks a couple plays ago. A great catch in traffic on this one. Way downfield, the Lancers throwing the football. 12 minutes to go in the ball game. They still lead by 3 possessions, and now they're in Briarcliff territory.
You talk about that position of athlete, and Mount Marty's got 2 really good players in Fitzgerald and Hanson. They're kind of identical players, both gifted, talented, all-around athletes. And they make plays. 1st and 10. Lancers from the 40-yard line of Briarcliff. Pistol formation, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Harts up the middle, met right away. No gain on the play. Yeah, that was a good defensive play there by Briarcliff.
And maybe even give them a half-yard loss there. Looks like they are going to move the down and distance marker half a yard back. Tackle for loss for Briarcliff here. All of a sudden, their front 7 is starting to get a bit of a push.
2nd down coming up. Mount Marty football on the night, brought to you by Dakota Beverage. Whether it's Coors Light or Miller Lite, please drink responsibly. Lancers, 2nd down and 11. 11 minutes left to go in regulation. They'll send 2 men to the left, 1 to the right. Play action. Riken being pressured, steps up, throws the home run ball down the middle of the field, got a man incomplete, and the end zone. And that was intended for Fitzgerald.
Yeah, just overthrew him a little deep on that ball. It'll bring up 3rd down for Mount Marty, but that one stops the clock. So the clock no longer running after the incompletion. 30-13. Mount Marty obviously still leads, but trying to take some time off the clock here. 3rd down.
Mount Marty football brought to you in part by Core Trust, helping you achieve your personal and business goals. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations with Core Trust. Member FDIC. 3rd and 11. Big opportunity here for the Briarcliff defense to hold the line. Lancers trying to convert. Straight drop back out of the shotgun. 4-man rush. Riken throws a long pass down the middle of the field into traffic. Caught by Riken at the 5. He tumbles ahead in traffic. He might have been interfered with. Doesn't matter. He's down near the 3-yard line. What a catch by the All-American Rex Riken.
What a weapon for Mount Marty University. This guy, I was looking at his stats coming into the game. He only had 8 catches through his first 4 games of the season. He missed the Culver Stockton game for 112 yards and 3 touchdowns. Only 8 catches for that guy in 4 games. 2 catches a game, not enough. I think the Lancers saw that stat and wanted to change that today.
Well, he's been triple teamed a lot of the times he's been in the game when he goes downfield.
Well, today he's got 111 yards, a touchdown, and 3 catches.
From the 5-yard line. Here's a run by Malachi Harts. He's down into the end zone. Long delay on the call. He was near the goal line, but that's going to count one. But the official took his time on the far side of the field, and that is a touchdown for Malachi Harts on a 4-yard gain. And that may have taken the life out of the Briarcliff University Chargers.
You'll call that one a dagger there. 36-13 your score. Mount Marty on top heavy late in this ball game.
Remember last year was 40-14 was the final score, so a similar script this year.
Yep.
Point after.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing. It's the creamiest root beer ever.
1919 root beer is the perfect treat. Brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients. It's the creamiest, full-bodied, alcohol and caffeine-free draft root beer available. It's a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
That last drive for Mount Marty, 8 plays, 68 yards, 4:53 time of possession, just what the doctor ordered. The drive capped off by Malachi Harts on a 4-yard touchdown run. The point after kick no good. It remains at 36-13, but no doubt about it, Lancers in control here tonight at Memorial Field. Finder with the kickoff. High end over end kick, and Corrigan collects it at the 10-yard line. Angles up the middle, runs into some traffic across the 20, and gets ahead to near the 25-yard line. Chargers, well, they've got to go pretty quickly here if they want to get back into this game, down 23 points.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. They still had plenty of time left. They still were able to run the ball and kind of get their right play calls and cashing in themselves. That's no longer the case. Now you're in a hurry-up offense. You got to get down the field.
Caleb Baines limps off the field. Let's hope the young man's okay. First down and 10, Briar Cliff. They're going to drop back. Saya looking, pressured, rolled out to his right. Chased by Carlstead, throws on the run downfield, and he's got a man caught at the 42-yard line. And that was Flaherty with the catch in front of Mohammed. What a great scramble there by Brock Saya.
A great throw from Saya. Was able to find his man in stride, crossing over the top of the field in Lancer territory already.
Yep, at the 42 on just one play. Saya looks to the sideline, sends 2 men out to the left, 1 out to the right. 1 back to his left. He'll drop back, wants to throw over the middle, too tall, incomplete. Nobody home at the 20-yard line. Whiting might have been the intended receiver, but that was well over his head.
I'm not sure. There might have been a miscommunication down the field as well between the quarterback and a deep receiver. Maybe he thought he was cutting in, but like you said, it was kind of no man's land. Nobody was around the football.
Mount Marty football brought to you in part by Aztec. Build your career with the group that's built to connect rock to road. Clock stops, 9:01 left in regulation. Mount Marty up by 23 points at 36-13. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Shotgun set. Saya looking over the middle of the field, throws to his outlet man. That's Mason at the 40, turns upfield and out of bounds across the 35 near the 32-yard line. And that will move the chains for Briar Cliff.
Showed his wheels after he caught that football. Brock Lubers had a good angle, was kind of in position to take him down just a few yards downfield, but was able to turn it up. But they don't give him the first down.
Nope, they're going to say he's out of bounds back at the 33-yard line, so that's 2nd down and 1 coming up. 8:30 and counting. Briar Cliff on the move, faces 2nd down and about a yard. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Whiting in motion from right to left at a tight end position. Got shaken up earlier, back in the game now. Saya in the pocket, throws over the middle, caught by his outlet man. It'll be just a short game, but enough for a first down as the running back, Matt Mason, makes the catch. And they'll put it at the 31. Yep, that's enough for a first down.
I had to talk about it for a second, but they do end up moving the chains. 1st and 10 for Briar Cliff. They're inside the 35 of Mount Marty.
Clock starts up again, 7:45 and counting. Chargers trying to drive down the field with the passing game. Lancers showing blitz, and here they come. Carlstead in pursuit. Saya throws to the right sideline. It's going to be caught by Kerrigan near the 13-yard line. That's a first down for Briar Cliff.
Over 200 yards now is Saya throwing the football today. He's been finding receivers downfield late in this ball game.
1st and 10. Ball officially put down at the 13-yard line. Receiver did go out of bounds, but the clock winds up again. Coming up on that 7-minute mark. 3-score edge for Mount Marty. 2 receivers to the left, 1 out to the right. Saya steps back in the pocket, throws, short pass. Mason collects it, tripped up on the safety valve outlet pass, no gain on the play.
Lancers trying to fly to the football here. A little bit of bend, but trying not to break. It's 2nd down for Briar Cliff. Obvious 4-down territory for the rest of the game, pretty much wherever you're at. But Briar Cliff's got to score here. If the Lancer defense holds with 6.5 to go, 36-13, that would about do it. So Lancers are trying to stand here.
They can get a first down if they make it to the 3-yard line. 2nd and 10 from the 13. Saya pump fakes. Swarmed under. Now he scrambles out of the pocket trying to throw on the run. And it is thrown and caught near the goal line. Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is. Touchdown catch by Avery Stowers, the senior out of Georgia. Nice pass over the middle. Boy, there was heavy pressure on Saya, but he managed to throw it with the pocket collapsing around him right to the middle of the field. and another touchdown catch, and Chargers have to go for 2 here.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You really kind of got to get back into this ball game. It's 36-19 is the score. You can't let it stand at 17-point differential.
They'll line up with the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the left, 1 out to the right. Mason Malone back. It's going to be an end around to Thomas. Throws. They're looking for the Philly special, and it's caught by Saya, the quarterback, in the left corner of the end zone. And the Briarcliff Chargers convert on the 2-point conversion that time, and it makes it 36-21. 6:06 left in regulation. Back with the kickoff in 30 seconds on KYNT.
Imagine paid vacation, sick leave, holidays, and full medical coverage the moment you start a new job. Plus quarterly profit sharing, 5% 401k match, and a company-paid retirement plan. Your first day on the job. With Parker of Yankton, you don't have to imagine, because all these benefits begin day 1. We are hiring assemblers, machine operators, material handlers, and line operation techs for both shifts. Don't mind working nights? Enjoy a pay differential of $235. If you're looking to upgrade your career and have day 1 benefits, apply today at parker.com.
Parker, engineering your success.
The last scoring drive for Briarcliff, 7 plays, 75 yards, 3:39 time of possession. Saya, Avery Stowers from 12 yards out. The 2-point conversion was the Philly special. A little reverse to a wide receiver, Chase Thomas. He threw it back to the quarterback, and that's Brock Saya. He converts on the 2-point conversion. Now you got to expect the onside kick. And Briarcliff has got the hands team out there. They're really crowding the line. Only 1 man is deep at all.
Mount Marty sending only 1 person back, as you said, crowding up. Here we go.
And they're going to kick it deep. And remember, that's a live football back there. Oliver letting it roll, and he'll pick it up near the 12-yard line. He just runs out of bounds.
Yeah, Oliver made me nervous for a second there as he was just kind of letting it roll, but then he does pick it up and get out of bounds with it. Lancers will take over on offense inside of their own 20-yard. Lancers have all 3, but obviously they're not looking to use them right now.
Well, this is where, even though there's 6 minutes in the game, you kind of want to run that 4-minute offense if you're Mount Marty. Run the football, stay away from the sidelines, move the chains. You do this a few times, and you can just run this clock out. The margin is 15, 6:01 left in the 4th quarter. Mount Marty ahead, and they're on offense. They'll put Hansen in motion. Jet sweep. Hansen to the left side, wants to turn the corner, and he cannot do so. Knocked out of bounds near the original line of scrimmage. That jet sweep worked earlier in the season. It has not worked in the last few games.
Nah, it's one of those where it worked so well at the beginning of the season that I got to assume every opposing coach had it kind of marked on their film sheet that they were going to be paying attention for it. It has not worked in the last couple weeks, as you've mentioned.
About a 1-yard gain on the play from where the marker is. So we'll say 2nd and 9.
Yeah.
Jackson Wachholtz into the game now.
I almost wonder if they're suffering from their own success. That play was so good early season that everybody's ready for it now.
Pistol formation, play action, double pump, throw down the left sideline into coverage, incomplete. Intended for Rex Reichen, but step for step with him was the defensive back, Tim McCarthy, the junior out of Council Bluffs.
Yeah, good coverage from McCarthy there. That's not an easy assignment. He has giving up size to Reichen down the seam. Reichen had the ball in his hands, just couldn't quite come away with it. Good coverage.
Well, it's a big 3rd down and 9. Clock stops with 5:10 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Mount Marty will deploy with 2 receivers out on the right side, 1 to the left. Shotgun set. Blitz coming. Reichen rolls out to his right. Under pressure, throws to the middle of the field. Caught. Fitzgerald across the 35 to the 38.
You feel like a play is just dead to rights, but that man able to make something out of nothing. Finds Fitzgerald over the middle of the field with heavy pressure coming at him.
And what a big first down for Mount Marty at the 38-yard line. And you figure they're going to want to take all the time off that play clock as possible before they snap the football. 4.5 left to go and counting here in the fourth quarter. Lancers up by 15. Pistol formation, 2 receivers out to the left. Hart's on the quick handoff. Hit right away. Spins out of trouble across the 40 to the 43. That's a good gain on first down. That's a gain of about, 6-7 yards? No, they're going to put him down 43, so a gain of 5.
Yeah, a little shorter. 2nd and 5 here for Mount Marty, but they're still chewing clock. You'll take 5 yards on first down in this game situation 7 days a week.
Yep. Keep those chains moving. Keep that clock moving. 15 on the play clock. Now, Lancers will deploy with a couple receivers out on the left-hand side. Now Fitzgerald moves in the 44-yard line of the Chargers. First down, Mount Marty.
Official was signaling keep the clock moving. He actually came down in bounds there.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald was doing his best to not go out of bounds. That's a senior knowing the situation.
I wonder if he went down and hit that left knee, which is closer to the field of play, and once that knee goes down in play, it's down there. I think that's what he did. We couldn't see because players on the Briar bench were blocking our view right at the end of the play, but the referee said he went down in play. Under 3 minutes to go from the 44-yard line of Briar. First down and 10, Mount Marty. Hartz stands behind his quarterback in the pistol formation, receivers either side. Play action, throw, short pass caught. Hansen at the 40, stays in bounds near the 37-yard line.
Lancers don't actually have to snap this ball. The officials are going to put the ball down, and we could go to the 2-minute timeout. But Briar, I like what they're doing here. They pretty much have to save. They need to get the ball 2 more times. They call timeout here. They're going to try and use that 2-minute timeout as an extra timeout.
We'll keep it here during this timeout, which is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Yankton Pizza Ranch. They're on Broadway. Call them at 665-1222. Let's quick check the Gerstner Oil scoreboard. We're going to switch gears and go baseball. Yankees, after 8, are ahead of Kansas City, 6-5. Bottom of the third, Padres in a high-scoring game ahead of the Dodgers, 5-3. Finals for earlier today, Cleveland over Detroit, 7-0. The Mets beat the Phillies 6-2. That's what we have for Major League Baseball as they are into October and playoff baseball. It'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up here in a moment. Mount Marty football brought to you in part by Dakota Mac. We can help you do the heavy lifting when it comes to ag financing. Whether you're a farmer, investor, or beginning farmer, we work hard to find lending solutions that fit your needs. Learn more at dakotamac.com. One more first down, you figure, would probably do it. Up by 15 points are the Mount Marty Lancers. 2:32 on the clock, fourth quarter, 36-21 the score. Pistol formation. 2 receivers to the left. Now here comes Fitzgerald in motion. He moves back. They'll throw it to him. He'll catch it. He'll dive. He's right near the sticks. Will they give him forward progress? No, he's a yard short. But he stayed in bounds, and Briar has to spend their final timeout with 2:21 left. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Mount Marty when play will resume. Again, this timeout is being brought to you by Pizza Ranch. For legendary chicken and the best pizza, it's Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway. Call them at 665-1222. Let's run down, while we got a moment here, some major college football scores on the Gerstner Oil scoreboard. Boise State, with 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter, is ahead of Utah State 55-24. Boise State, number 21 in the land. Big game in the SEC. They're just starting their way in the third quarter. Number 4 Tennessee ahead of Arkansas, 7-3. Washington trails number 10 Michigan, 17-10. Near the end of the third quarter. USC, number 11 in the land, ahead of Minnesota. It's being played up in the Twin Cities, 17-10. And Iowa State leads Baylor halfway through the third, 26-21. Back to
the 2-minute timeout, and they could just kneel it out from there.
They'll hand it off. Hart's up the middle, crashes through the line, has the first down, still going. 2 hands on the football. He's across the 30 to the 25 to the 24-yard line. And that ought to do it for this particular contest as Patrick Perkins limps to the line of scrimmage. The clock will wind down. We're at the 2-minute timeout. Fourth quarter, 36-21. Mount Marty ahead of Briar Cliff, back in 1 minute right here on KYNT.
Rewarding you for doing everyday things, like buying gas, shopping, and dining local. Does your bank do that? If you're a Core Trust customer, your bank does that. When you open a premium or preferred checking account and meet requirements, you get access to Core Trust perks powered by Bazing, an exclusive network offering 300,000 plus deals and discounts on dining, shopping, travel, fuel, and more. Visit us online, in person, or by phone. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
A big thank you from Mount Marty University to one of Yankton's greatest employers and friend of the community, Aztec. They're very proud to support the Mount Marty Lancers. The vision at Aztec is to build industry-changing solutions that create life-changing opportunities. And you can build a career with the group that's built to connect from rock to road. Click careers at aztecindustries.com. Best wishes, Mount Marty, from your friends at Aztec.
Coming out of the 2-minute timeout, Malachi Hart's 2 hands on the football as he runs it up the middle, and he breaks through the line. There's a big scrum moving forward across the 15, down near the 10-yard line. That'll move the chains. First down, Mount Marty. On the previous play, Hart's ran for 11, and he got about 12 or so on that play?
Well, yeah, that's because Briar Cliff is keeping him up, trying to rip the football out. They're doing exactly what Mount Marty did to Dakota Wesleyan a couple weeks ago, trying to get the ball back. Honestly, I'm not even sure why they ran it there with 2 minutes to go. And
well, I think they needed to down, you got to figure they're going to go to
you can kneel it now.
Yeah, let's see if they go to the victory formation.
Don't even give them a chance to get the ball back here. Briar Cliff is out of timeouts, so.
From about the 11-yard line, called a gain of 13 on that last play. Rugby Riken in the pistol formation. Let's see if he goes to a knee. Nope, they're going to hand it off to Hartz one more time. He runs forward across the 10 down near the 6-yard line. And we're coming up on the 1-minute mark here. Mount Marty football brought to you in part by Parker Hannafin. It's day one of your new career. Parker of Yankton has immediate openings for all production positions, offering newly increased wages as well. They have 13 paid holidays and some of the most competitive benefits in the area, all beginning on day one. Learn more at parker.com. And it's second down, and let's see the victory formation. Here it is. Rugby Riken takes a knee with 35 seconds left to go, and that's going to do it for this particular game. The Lancers do not need to run another play, and our final score will read Mount Marty 36, Briar Cliff 21. Mount Marty 4-2 on the year, and Briar Cliff, they fall to 1-4. Stay with us. We'll have the post-game show brought to you by Aztec coming up after this timeout. Along with Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum. This is Mount Marty football, and you're right here on KYNT.
I love 1919 root beer. It's the best over a big scoop of vanilla ice cream. My favorite is just ice cold 1919 poured over crunchy ice. It's so refreshing. It's the creamiest root beer ever.
1919 root beer is the perfect treat, brewed in small batches with only the finest ingredients. It's the creamiest, full-bodied, alcohol and caffeine-free draft root beer available. It's a taste tradition since, well, 1919.
Hey, son, can you hand me that vice grip? As any farmer or rancher knows, having the right tools in the toolbox is important. That goes for your ag lending as well. If you're considering expansion, restructuring debt, or purchasing equipment, call Dakota Mac. We have a toolbox full of lending solutions to help you with your ag financing needs.
Hi, it's Jeff Wolfgram from Dakota Mac. Call us at 800-682-4578 to learn how Dakota Mac products can work for you.
In they come and out they go. That's what's happening at Lewis and Clark Ford with our new 2024 Ford F-150s. I'm Brandon Tykrow. When we get in a newly designed 2024 F-150, they're not sticking around long. Buyers are loving the new engine options, the standard 12-inch display screen, heroic towing capacity, and a packaged version to fit every budget. Stop in and see why the 2024 Ford F-150 is the hottest truck on the market. Lewis and Clark Ford, 4th and Capitol, Yankton.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's two best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfasts and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
We're beginning the Aztec post-game show for Mount Marty football here on KYNT 36-21. The final score, and Tehl, a nice scene down on the field here moments ago.
Yep, the Lancers hoisting up the trophy. This was, once again, the inaugural Catholic Cup that we've been talking about over the week on KYNT. We talked about it last week, getting ready for this one. The traveling trophy travels to Yankton. That's where it's going to start, and the Lancers get a little bit of hardware in their locker room. There's actually going to be 3 different trophies sitting in the Lancer locker room right now. You remember the original Catholic Cup of Presentation versus Mount Marty a couple years ago. After Presentation unfortunately closed, the Lancers did get to keep that one. And then after that, Dakota Wesleyan, the railroad rivalry up in Mitchell, they bring that one back. And now they bring home the second edition of the Catholic Cup, first one between Briarcliff and Mount Marty. Lancers have a little bit of hardware. That's kind of cool.
That's very cool indeed, as they prevail here, and they ruin the homecoming effort for the Briarcliff University Chargers. Again, 36-21, the final score. We hope to hear from Coach Micheletti in a little bit, but while we're waiting for him to talk to the team and the assistant coaches, let's check out some of the game stats. It's brought to you by the Meat Lodge. You want top quality meat at great prices? Well, head to the Meat Lodge in Yankton. They're on the way to the lake on Highway 52. We'll get the rundown from Tehl Tanner.
Yeah, we'll start it off with first downs. Briarcliff had some pretty good offense late in this ball game. They were able to convert multiple times, so the first downs are actually fairly even. 21 for Mount Marty, 18 for Briarcliff. In terms of Russ and total plays, 58 total offensive snaps for Mount Marty for 353 yards, down 11 of 13 on third down. They were able to keep it going all game long, just able to convert, have long, sustained drives, and that's what led to this victory today. For Briarcliff, they went 6 of 12 on third down, exactly 50%, 0 of 1 on the lone fourth down attempted in the ball game by Briarcliff.
Penalties, 3 against Briarcliff, 0 all night on Mount Marty. Tehl, you've been mentioning that all season long, and tonight Mount Marty cleaned it up, and what happened? They got a W.
They got a W. They clean up the penalties, and they are 4-2 on the season now. Mount Marty is 4-2. That is a program record in wins. They are having a very good season to this point, and they've still got a bunch of winnable games on the schedule coming up. Lancers are playing very well. Once again, the penalties, I'm not actually sure. We might have to go back and look at some of these games, but having no penalties for an entire game is pretty rare. We'll have to go back and see how many times that's happened, or if ever. We're going to have to look at that at some point.
Yeah, let's check out some of the individual stats. Got to start with Malachi Hartz.
Yeah, Malachi Hartz, 131 yards on the ground today, 2 touchdowns, and his long 13 yards. That was the longest run of the ball game. It was just chunk play after chunk play.
Consistent.
He was never able to break one, but he was consistent right around 5 yards a carry. 5.1 was his average on 25 attempts. Rugby Riken ended up running the ball 7 times, had 31 yards. Trey Hansen had that one jet sweep for 2 yards, and then Kyle Hirsch didn't get as much work today as we expected. He had 3 ground rushing attempts for 6 yards. He did have 1 catch as well on a screen that went backwards. Vigance had a screen that went backwards as well. And then Trey Hansen had 2 catches for 22 yards. Trevor Fitzgerald had 7 for 64. And Rex Riken had 3 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. Fitzgerald had a touchdown in there as well. Rugby Riken, starting quarterback for the Lancers, ended up going 14 of 22, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 193 yards in the ball game, 63% completion percentage. A good game for the redshirt freshman.
Yep, and that big 70-yard pass to Rex Riken which he a couple plays later caught another pass, and that was that great touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone. I thought it was incomplete when I looked at it, but the referee was right there. They signaled touchdown.
I need to see replays of that one.
They reviewed it, and it stood, and that was as time expired in the second quarter. That made it 23-6 at halftime, and that really took a lot of wind out of the sails of the Briarcliff University Chargers. Individual stats now for Briarcliff.
Saya ends up going 17 of 28 in the ball game, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception, 231 yards, and a 60% completion percentage. A lot of those stats coming late when they were throwing the ball, trying to get back into it, but not a bad game at all for Saya, especially in that second half. Mason running the football quietly had a very good night, 18 rushing attempts for 78 yards, 4 yards a carry. Once again, Briarcliff averages under 70 yards a game running the football, 78 from their starting running back. Thomas ended up with 28 yards and 6 carries, and then Saya ran a ball 3 times himself for 12 yards. 102 total rushing yards for Briarcliff tonight. Receiving, Kerrigan ended up with 93 yards through the air with 4 receptions, 48 yards for Whiting, 46 yards as well for Flurmy, and 38 yards
that was
as well
Avery
for
Stowers.
Stowers.
Yeah, Stowers, yeah.
And then Mason had 4 catches for 14 yards, the running back, and then 1 catch for -3 yards for Thomas.
One of the things that hurt Briarcliff tonight is they didn't finish drives as well as Mount Marty did on the night in that third down efficiency. 6 of 12, 11 of 13 for Mount Marty. They were more efficient on the night. Time of possession was actually Briarcliff led that pretty much all night except for the last drive, or the last couple of drives when Mount Marty was able to run out the clock. And now we're going to let the coach catch his breath here and bring
pull
you
up a chair, man. This guy just ran up the stairs to come talk with us, knowing that we got a schedule to keep here. I appreciate you so much.
Conklin Distributing brings you the post-game coach interview. Now remember, if you're ready for a hydration revolution, you got to try Ghost Hydration, the ultimate drink to keep you feeling refreshed and revitalized. It's packed with a unique blend of electrolytes and vitamins, giving you a perfect balance to conquer your day. We thank Conklin Distributing for their support of Mount Marty football. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. A very good Briarcliff football team. They had some good drives going. Let's start on the defensive side. It was kind of watching up here is kind of bend but don't break.
Yep. Yeah, they got some good athletes everywhere, so us being able to keep our composure on those big plays was a big thing for us. Kind of obviously not happy with those big plays, but being able to respond after that is big.
Let's start with, let's go to special teams.
Okay.
An intercepted pass on a PAT, and then a lateral to a teammate, and you go, almost 105 yards or so on the play, and you get 2 points out of it, and that was a big turning point in the game because that looked like it was going to be maybe a 6, or it would have been a 2-point game. Turns into a 10, actually would have been, my math is all wrong here, would have been 6 points, then it goes to 10 points. But talk us through your play. What did you see from the sideline?
Well, that swinging gate formation they've shown a few times, and they had a fake against Doan. Okay, and then last year they had a few that we showed, so we put all those together and be able to break them all down all week. Spent some time on that, and that's why they do that, so we waste some time. But luckily, we got the last laugh on that one. But no, it's one thing. Obviously, you want to make sure that a defense, after they give up a touchdown, you're trying to take advantage of them, trying to get them where they're lackadaisical for a play. That's why they run it. Our guys came out and were able to make a play. It's one thing that Josie and I have actually, or Josiah, sorry, have talked about a lot. If we ever got in a situation where it's something like that, he's like, hey, am I good to lateral it? I'm like, if they're on nothing to lose, really. And it'll take a long time for them to pick it up and run it back. So luckily him and AZ or Asmaram were on the same page there and able to stay within pitch relationship. So
yes.
Oh, that's good. And his second interception, the first one, a pick 6. Man, he was good today.
He was, and that's one thing he's been very good at for a while is breaking on balls. He's fast. Very big player for us, so very glad that he had a big day for us.
I want to take you through that play right before halftime. You had 9 seconds on the clock, and Rugby Riken is scrambling. Times tick, 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 tick. He throws the football. Watching from up here, I'll admit, I missed the play. I thought it was incomplete, but the referee took a few seconds and signaled touchdown. It was on the far side from our broadcast location, and I to be honest, I didn't see the catch because my field of view was blocked. What did you see from the sideline down there?
It was unbelievable coverage. That was one where we're trying to sneak Rex across the formation, and that was one we were telling Rugby, like, hey, it's either throw it to Rex or throw it out of bounds so we can at least get a field goal out of the deal. He kept the play alive, was able to throw it up to his brother there, and just a sweet play. I don't know if he got 2 feet in, but he sure got the one in. The one thing they went back on to see if he juggled it or not, but he did maintain it. You know, Rex got pretty strong hands, so once again, he had a big day. So glad to see him get in the end zone.
Yeah, and that really shifted momentum because all of a sudden you're up 23-6 at the break, and that was a big game changer. What was the excitement in the locker room at halftime?
Yeah, that obviously sent us in on a good note, and then we were able to come back out on offense again and really establish a great drive. I think it was almost a 7.5, 8-minute drive right out of halftime, which is awesome. Really takes, if the wind wasn't out of sail for them there, that it definitely made sure. So very good job by the offense. I thought Rugby had an outstanding game managing the ball and doing what he's supposed to do.
I wanted to talk about those long drives, Coach. 11 of 13 on third down. You don't get the long drives without converting on the money down. But some of these long ones that ended up in scores for you. You have a 13-play, 65-yard drive, 7 minutes and 37 seconds out of the halftime locker room. You were just talking about that one. You're converting on third down. You're driving down the field. We were sitting up here talking about it. That was the type of offense you wanted to see, and you got it. What led to that?
Yeah, the confidence in our guys up front. We had a few guys shuffled around, but when it comes down to it, that's one unit being able to operate together, you know. So that was one thing we talked about from the beginning of the year and then we hit on this week was ball control and the time of possession. You know, you got to make sure you're able to possess that ball. I don't think we turned the ball over at all today.
I don't believe so. And
Yeah.
something I wanted to ask you about, no penalties.
Wow, okay.
Not one.
The team will be happy about that. We usually run for our penalties on Monday.
There you go.
Maybe I'll have to do some running this time.
We were sitting here
I don't know.
talking about it, and it's very rare that happens. So we were wondering, we got to go back and look here, but that might be the first time.
Yeah.
That might be the very
last week we had 2 penalties for 15 yards, so I thought that was a pretty good.
That was
and
very good.
Hard to improve from that, but I guess we do it. So we're cleaning things up, getting the midseason form, getting ready for Dort now.
Got to talk about Malachi Hartz. He was just sensational tonight. His longest run of the night, 13 yards. He ends up with 128 yards on 25 carries, and you got to love that performance.
Yeah, I can't say enough nice things about him. It seems that as the game gets going, he just gets more and more warmed up. So definitely a good guy to have on our team, and got to keep feeding the pill late.
Now, we know Malachi's stats, but tell us about this young man off the field.
Unbelievable positivity, always smiling. He's constantly involved in other things. He's they're supporting softball in the spring because he was here in the springtime, softball and baseball, going to those games. He's a big supporter of everybody else at the institution. He was one of those guys going back to basketball season, starting the chants on the side or on the
That's awesome.
on the floor and stuff. So he's all about Mount Marty. Big guy, I say be where your feet are, and that's him, to a T. Good student, constantly don't have any issues with him there, so that's always a nice break for the coaches as well. We don't have to chase kid around school, but outstanding guy, and he's just fit in so well, obviously on the field, but even more importantly off the field.
And his third game in 6 weeks that he's gone over the century mark. That is pretty good for the transfer running back.
Oh, yeah. I say we want to run the ball, and to be able to have those guys, especially with how talented that room is, to be able to go over the century mark says something.
I got to talk to you about injuries on that offensive line. Can you give us any updates? Because it seemed like a couple of guys were limping off the field here, and we know that offensive line, that's the heart and soul of a football team.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We sat out Lionel Whittingham this week with his foot, expecting him hopefully to get back for next week. Anil Pastrana got hurt on that extra point there right before halftime. Seemed to be okay, went through a few tests. We'll get further evaluation tomorrow. And then Kelp just came up with a little bit of a contusion on his hand. So nothing too big. Our guys should be able to keep going, and at least that's what I hope.
And that with that, you were able to get Grabo and Gove a little bit of playing time. Yep. They came in here. I noticed when Kelp came off the field, it was, I believe, Alex Gove, the freshman out of North Platte, who came in on that right side of the offensive line, and that's where you ran it. You ran it with not even the backup to the backup who came in. You ran right behind him, and you get it in the end zone.
Yeah, and Alex Gove from North Platte, Nebraska, has came in and really picked up the offense very quickly for a freshman. He's got quite a bit of experience in our JV games, and that helped with some of our confidence in him being able to step up in this situation. he's a very aggressive offensive lineman, which we want to see, especially with a young buck. So glad and that's what we want to get started, run the ball right behind him, like you're saying, to get him, his confidence and everybody else's confidence into him, because he's a very good player and he got a lot of good football ahead of him.
And finally, the Catholic Cup. You get a little bit of hardware in your trophy room. You've got 3 different things in there. The old Catholic Cup from the presentation days. Unfortunately, that one's done. The new Catholic Cup. And, of course, the Dakota Railroad rivalry. That locker room's got to be looking good.
Oh, yeah. Can't complain with that. Definitely glad. That's what one of the players said afterwards. Like, hey, Coach, we're undefeated in trophy games. Like, yep.
That's good. Just make every game a trophy game at that point.
All right, we'll wrap up with one question. Dort, on a Friday night, what are you going to have to do to prepare for that big contest?
Yeah, they're a very good football team. Obviously, a high-ranked opponent when you're looking nationally. Very good run offense, but they've been relying a little bit more on the pass this year than they have in the past. They got some very good guys all around and very good defense. So we're going to have to make sure that we play some disciplined ball, look to improve from this week, and make sure that we control the emotions of the game. I think it's going to be another fun one there Friday night.
Friday night, 7 o'clock kickoff, the last night game. Well, you have 2 night games in a row, so you ought to be used to playing under the lights.
Exactly.
All right. Coach, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you Friday.
Appreciate it, guys.
Didn't even have to climb through a window this time.
Yeah. John Micheletti, head coach of the victorious Mount Marty Lancers, again, 36-21 is the final score as we continue here with the Aztec post-game show. And we're going to check the scoreboard. That is brought to you by Gerstner Oil. No matter what you drive, make sure you fuel up at Triple Time Rudy's. They're located on Broadway in Yankton. We'll start with the Great Plains Athletic Conference.
Yep, Midland over Waldorf, 28-14. Waldorf's homecoming spoiled. Not the only one spoiled today. Dakota Wesleyan wins at Hastings as well, 31-10. Doane falls at Dort, 38-3. And then the big upset of the day, Concordia wins at Northwestern, 29-17 was the final score. And then the final GPAC game of the day, we just got it in, 36-21, Mount Marty over Briar Cliff.
In major college football, we'll run through, not all the scores, we'll run through the big one of the day. Vanderbilt knocks off number 1 Alabama, 40-35, the final score there. And another upset in top 25 college football, Texas A&M. They're number 25 in the land. They crushed number 9 Missouri, 41-10, and that game wasn't even as close to the final score. Texas A&M was in control of that game from start to finish. Number 5 Georgia over Auburn, 31-13, and we have number 7 Penn State over UCLA, 27-11. We got a few games in progress. We got to tell you about the Iowa score too. They lost at Ohio State today, 35-7. Iowa State at the end of the third quarter, they're number 16 in the land. They're ahead of Baylor, 33-21. They're in the fourth quarter. Minnesota's driving. They're down by 7 playing at home against number 11 USC, 17-10. It is Michigan, number 10 in the land, tied up at Washington. 8 minutes left to go in regulation, tied at 17. They're late in the third quarter. Number 4 Tennessee leading at Arkansas, 14-10, a very low-scoring game there. And it is number 15 Clemson ahead of Florida State, 26-13, closer to home. It is South Dakota State over Northern Iowa easily, 41-3, and the Coyotes of USD crush Murray State, 59-0. Was that Teese? I always get his last name right for USD.
Oh, Travis Tice.
Tice. All right.
Yeah.
Tice. That's right. Tice. My apologies there. 5 rushing touchdowns for him today. 7 overall. Or no, Tyson Pierre combined for 5 touchdowns. Right. Okay, so the running back duo there getting the job done. Also in the Mo Valley, Youngstown State a winner. Illinois State is going to beat Southern Illinois 45-10. There's a few seconds left. North Dakota State with a 41-17 win over North Dakota today. And that we got to get some quick Major League Baseball scores in for you. Yankees over the Royals 6-5. Mets beat the Phillies 6-2. Cleveland over Detroit 7-0. And they're in the bottom of the fourth. Padres ahead of the Dodgers 5-3. And our scoreboard update brought to you by Gerstner Oil. What a busy Saturday of sports it has been. And we talk about 2 upsets. The Northwestern loss at home to Concordia. That's going to reverberate around the country. And then in major college football, number 1 Alabama going down today. Wow, what a day it has been.
Oh, it's been
all
a crazy
over.
day. Crazy day for college football. I'm going back to the Alabama loss. Braden, our studio technician here today, taking care of us. Braden just sent me an update, apparently. Vanderbilt students apparently tore down the goalposts and are marching them through downtown Nashville.
They deserve to.
They deserve
Why
to.
not?
They just
I
took
love
down
it.
number 1 Alabama. Tear those goalposts down.
And march them through the street, and goodness knows they may end up in a lake or a pond somewhere when the day is done. I've seen the other schools do that throughout the course of the years when they pull off that level of upset. Well, we've got a little more business to take care of here. First of all, let's talk about the move of the game that's brought to you by Mason Schramm. Are you buying or selling? We'll move with Mason and the Move Group. Wow, we've got 2-3 plays that could easily qualify on any other night. That'd be an easy pick.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
No, I feel like we've got. Let's go ahead and go over what they could be.
Yes,
the 3
yes.
of them. I'll lay them out. You decide which one it is
Okay.
because I don't want involved in the decision. So I'm putting it on you. So here we go. First up, 11:41 left, second quarter. Brock Sia's pass was intercepted, and it was Josiah Gaetani. Took it all the way back to the house. Lancers score, make it 13-0. That was early in this ballgame when it was a 7-0 game. That made it 2 possessions. That was a big one, gave the Lancers that 2-possession lead. But then Briar Cliff, they come back. They go down the field and they score. They make it a 14-6 ball game, and they're looking like they're going to kick the extra point, make it a 7-point ball game. They go for 2, trying to catch the Lancer defense off guard. Lancer defense was not caught off guard. Gaetani got his second interception. They run it back. Laterals Muhammad. They take it to the house. 2 points for the Lancers. That is now a 10-point swing there because the Lancers all of a sudden lead by 10 instead of by 7. It's a 2-point or a 2-possession game at that point. And the final one that we'll consider the final play of the first half, Rugby Riken to Rex Riken in the back far corner of the end zone where it was so close to out of bounds. The toe drag swag from the grad senior, able to get it in. Rex Riken making it a 22-6 halftime lead.
Yeah, and the point after kick was added on.
The point after kick as well.
Yeah,
That was
23-6.
23-6, yes.
Yep.
That was incredible 3 plays by the Lancers. All 3 of them deserve to make it, honestly.
If I got to pick one because you don't see it, I'm going to go for the point after try return for what's called a safety.
I agree.
2 points. So, again, tough decision to make. Gaetani to Muhammad, and that is our move of the game. Again, all 3 of those plays are nominees for Play of the Year for Mount Marty. We get them in one game, so congratulations to the special teams unit for Mount Marty for our move of the game. Now
hold on. I agree with that too. I agree with that simply because in terms of game situation, I think that play meant more to this one because it was Briar Cliff who had just drove down the field down 2 possessions. They get in the end zone. They score. It's 14-6. They have momentum all of a sudden, and that one shut the door on it, made it a 2-possession game at a 10-point advantage for the Lancers, and they're able to keep the ball after
they never got closer.
And they got the ball back right after that. Like that was the play that ended the momentum for Briar Cliff.
Let's move on to our Lancer player of the game. That's brought to you by Vera. Moving health forward, it is a Vera. And again, this is tough. I'm going to go with Josiah Gaetani.
It's got to be 2 interceptions for Gaetani today. That's player of the game right there.
And again,
one of them a pick 6.
Yeah, one of them a pick 6, and then again a play you don't see, an interception on a PAT try returned for 2 points. So Josiah Gaetani is our Lancer player of the game. Well, that's going to do it for this particular broadcast. 36-21, the final score. Mount Marty with the win over Briar Cliff. They are now 3-1 all time against Briar Cliff. We move on to a Friday night game under the lights at Crane Youngworth Field. Dort, the opponent. We had them on a Friday night a couple of years ago, I think at roughly the same weekend.
Yeah.
So, and that was a close game for a while, and it was some mental mistakes by a young team, and then it was Dort pulling away for the victory. Dort is unbeaten on the season. They are unbeaten in conference play, and it'll be a Friday night game, 7 o'clock kickoff, 6 o'clock for the pregame show. That's when we will get things going. Our last night game of the year. It is a tough assignment, no doubt about it, but opportunity there for Mount Marty. They are now at 4 wins on the season. That is a program record. It should be a great game, and we want to see you in the stands. If you can't make it there, if you can make it, bring a radio along. Listen to us. We'll have a lot of fun telling you about the great action you're going to see Friday night in Yankton.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for that one. Those night games are always fun. But this one's fun because it's a Friday. It's a Friday at Crane Youngworth Field in Yankton, which those Friday night games for the home team Yankton Bucks, by the way, they're just jumping. They're fun. Yep. That is a massive crowd. And the Yankton Bucks are on the road that night. Mount Marty plays in the same night. What a night for football. It's going to be Yankton Bucks and Mount Marty both playing, and the Mount Marty gets the home game. That's kind of fun.
Yep, and then they go into the bye week after that, so they get the extra day rest.
Hopefully get those offensive linemen healthy.
Yeah, that's going to be a big factor. We'll talk about that throughout the week. And we also have some other Lancer stuff. What else is going on at Mount Marty? We got volleyball, we got cross country going on. We had a big day today. We got soccer going on. All that all happened here today in Sioux City, but the season continues for those respective sports.
Yeah, they do. And once again, when you're looking at what happened today, it was Mount Marty versus Briar Cliff in like every sport you can think of. Briar Cliff got the day sweep in soccer. They win in women's soccer and men's soccer both. Lancers win in volleyball and football. Volleyball won 3-0 for Mount Marty. Football, obviously, the game we've been covering, 36-21 final. And then cross country happened in Briar Cliff today as well, which ended up being very good for both schools. They had some good individual performances in there. But upcoming sports for soccer, this Wednesday and Friday in Yankton is going to be home games for men and women's soccer programs for Mount Marty. The women are going to play first on Wednesday and Friday. Hastings and Northwestern are the two opponents. 5 p.m. Wednesday evening, women's soccer versus Hastings, men's soccer to follow. And then Friday evening, they're actually going to be playing at Crane Youngworth Field before the Lancer football games. Women will play at 11 a.m. on October 11th, and then the men will play at 1:30. Then we'll come into the booth, and Mount Marty football will be the nightcap game that day. Crane's going to be busy on Friday night.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Great time of the year with all the sports going on, and we thank all of our sponsors for their support here of Mount Marty Athletics on KYNT. And that's going to do it for tonight. You got one more thing?
One more thing, the volleyball upcoming schedule. They've got number 1 Northwestern coming to town this Tuesday evening, 7:30 p.m. varsity plays. Then on Thursday, another home game versus Dort, 7:30 p.m. in the Simple Arena. There's a lot of home Yankton or Mount Marty athletics this week.
Should be a lot of fun, and find more about it at Mount Marty's webpage, where you can run down everything that's going on. Tehl, this was a lot of fun tonight, and we'll do it again on Friday night against Dort at Crane Youngworth. Thanks to Braden, our board operator, and also thanks to all of our sponsors for their support. Our final score once again here as we wrap up the Aztec post-game show for Mount Marty football. They're victorious tonight over Briar Cliff, 36-21. The Catholic Cup coming home to Yankton. We love it. We'll talk to you again on Friday night at 6 o'clock. For Tehl Tanner, I'm Steve Thum, signing off here from Memorial Field in Sioux City, Iowa. Thanks for listening to Mount Marty football. Good night, everybody.
This has been a Mount Marty University Athletics broadcast on KYNT, the flagship station for Lancer Athletics. Remember to follow KYN-TV on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell to never miss the action. KYNT, Yankton's home team.
FM 102.1 and AM